tó àkí ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa tí ẹ ti darapọ̀ mọ́ wa àtẹni tí ó tún máa padà gbọ́ wa náà, mo fi kíkí ìyá mi, mo fi kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá. Mo lọ bẹ́ẹ̀, mo fi kíkí bàbá wa Ọọ̀ni òrìṣà, mo fi kí gbogbo ilẹ̀ Oòduà. Mo forí bàbá wa Ọọ̀ni òrìṣà, mo lọ bẹ́ẹ̀, mo fi bàbá wa Láàfin títí dé bàbá wa Kíolú, bàbá wa Láké, bàbá wa Déjì of Àkúrẹ́, bàbá wa Olúpòtì àti bàbá wa Ajérò. Mo fi ń kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin olùgbọ́ wa pé ẹ tún káàbọ̀ sí ìkànnì iléeṣẹ́ wa tí ẹ mọ̀ sí Koikimedia. Bí ẹ ti ṣe ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa, ẹ bá wa pín ètò yẹn. Mo tún sọ kẹ́nìkankan máa download fídíò mi kó gbé sórí péjì yín, a máa flag ẹ̀. Ẹ fi fídíò mi sílẹ̀, ẹ jẹ́ kí àwọn èèyàn wá gbọ́, kó wá wò níbi tí mo gbé sí. Mo ò fẹ́ kẹ́nìkankan lo fídíò yẹn torí pé fídíò yẹn ibi tí a fẹ́ jẹ́ kó wà náà ni pé kí àwọn olùgbọ́ wa kí wọ́n lè jàǹfààní ẹ̀. Kò ní wá dá pé àwọn tí wọ́n yẹ kó wò lọ́dọ̀ wa tí wọ́n bá wá rí wò, kó wá jẹ́ pé ọ̀dọ̀ tiyín ni wá ti máa wá wo fídíò yẹn. Gbogbo ẹni tó bá ń wá Koikimedia, ẹ rán wọn lọ sí YouTube channel wa, Facebook wa, gbogbo ibi tí wọ́n ti lè wá wa. Gbogbo tí bá dẹ̀ sọ nínú fídíò mi, torí pé mo fẹ́ jẹ́ kẹ́ yí tọ́pìkì yẹn padà, ẹ fi tọ́pìkì mi sílẹ̀, torí pé iṣẹ́ tí mò ń bá lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nísìn, òun ni ti ìgbìyànjú pé kí ọba tó ní èmi náà kó san mí lẹ́san níwọ̀nba tí agbára mi gbé láti lè gbìyànjú pé kí President Bola Tinubu ọmọlódò ọdẹ Jagaban 4+4 is equals to 8, kí President Tinubu lè padà wá sí second term. Bí mo ti ṣe kígbe nígbà tí à ń ṣiṣẹ́ campaign fún self-determination, òun náà ni eléyìí tí mo tún gbé kalẹ̀ yìí. Ó tẹ́ mi lọ́rùn pé bó tẹ̀ jẹ́ mi nìkan náà ni bá ń kígbe fún President Bola Tinubu. Àwọn tó nílẹ̀ Oòduà, àwọn tó nílẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjíire, àwọn ni mo fẹ́ jẹ́ kó san mí lẹ́san. Nígbà tèmi dẹ̀ kúkú ti mọ̀ pé ìwọ̀nba díẹ̀ náà ni gbogbo wa máa wà nílé ayé yìí, k'Ọlọ́run kó fún wa lẹ́mìí gígùn, kó fún wa lálàáfíà, kó jẹ́ ká iṣẹ́ rere mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́. Torí pé kò ń ṣe gbogbo èèyàn ni ó máa ká iṣẹ́ rere mọ́ lọ́wọ́. Àdúrà táwa ń gbà ni pé kó ká iṣẹ́ rere mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́. Kí ni iṣẹ́ rere náà tá à ń fẹ́? Òun náà ni látara ìgbìyànjú tí à ń ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nísìn, pé kí ọba tó ní ilẹ̀ Oòduà kó ṣàánú wa, kó jẹ́ kí àwọn tí wọ́n fẹ́ da ilẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjíire rú, àwọn tí wọ́n fẹ́ mú ilẹ̀ Oòduà tó fẹ́ sọ di in tí kò jẹ́ kó jẹ́, àwa wá ń bẹ Ọlọ́run pé kó jọ̀ọ́ kó má jẹ́ kí agbára wọn, kó má jẹ́ kí gbogbo kíbi táwọn ọ̀tá bá sápamọ́ sí, pé kí President Tinubu má di president ní 2027. Inú omi ló wà ní, inú ilẹ̀ ló wà ní, ọmọ Yorùbá ni, ọmọ Ìgbò ni, ọmọ Haúsá ni, àbáwọn ẹ̀yà Fúlàní, àbáwọn ẹ̀yà òyìnbó, wòlíì ni, àfáà ni, babaláwo ni, ló bá ń gbìyànjú pé àníṣẹ́ gbogbo ń tẹ́ ń ṣe yìí, President Tinubu ò ní débẹ̀. Àwa wá fi ọlá àwọn tó nílẹ̀ Oòduà, a fi ń bẹ ilẹ̀ Oòduà, a fi ń bẹ gbogbo tí ó ń jẹ́ ilẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjíire lénìí, pé kí àṣeyọrí wà fún President Bola Tinubu. Àṣeyọrí dẹ̀ ni pé kí President Tinubu kí wọ́n jàǹfààní táwọn tí wọ́n ti ń jẹ tẹ́lẹ̀. Torí àǹfààní náà ni pé kéèyàn di president, ara àǹfààní kan náà ni. kò dẹ̀ ń ṣe gbogbo èèyàn ni ó máa di president, kò dẹ̀ ń ṣe gbogbo èèyàn ni ó máa di gómìnà, kò dẹ̀ ń ṣe gbogbo èèyàn ni ó máa di kí là ń pè, gbogbo èèyàn kan náà ló máa láǹfààní irú yìí tí president Tinubu nílé ní. So àǹfààní tí president Tinubu ń jẹ náà ni pé àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá wọ́n nífẹ̀ẹ́ lóòótọ́. Àwọn kan lè náà wọ́n nífẹ̀ẹ́ president Tinubu, ẹni right láti sọ bẹ́ẹ̀, but èmi mọ̀ dájú pé púpọ̀ nù àwa tí a nífẹ̀ẹ́ president Bola Ahmed Tinubu a máa gbìyànjú níwọ̀nba tí agbára wa bá gbé láti lè jẹ́ kí president Tinubu padà wá sí orí oyè. Ó dẹ̀ máa padà wá bẹ́ẹ̀ fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ̀, nítorí pé Ọlọ́run tó nílẹ̀ Oòduà ó ti pín, ó ti mọ̀ pé àwọn Fúlàní ti fìyà jẹ wá, wọ́n dẹ̀ fìyà yẹn jẹ wá ó pọ̀, àfi tá bá ń parọ́ fúnra wa. Ìyàtọ̀ fi jẹ wá náà ni pé wọ́n mú gbogbo nǹkan, wọ́n dàrú, wọ́n sọ gbogbo nǹkan di in tí kò jẹ́ kó dì. Bọ̀ mo wá dúpẹ́ pé làákàyè wa ó ti ṣí, a ti gbọ́n ju ti tẹ́lẹ̀ lọ, kò dẹ̀ sẹ́nì kankan tó lè kó sí wa láàrin. Kódà bí ẹ̀yà kan bá sọ pé àwọn máa kó sí wa láàrin, á jẹ́ pé ọmọ Yorùbá tó ní làákàyè nìyẹn. Yorùbá tàwa dẹ̀ ní làákàyè, torí pé a mọbi tí ọwọ́ ọ̀tún wà, a dẹ̀ mọbi tọ́wọ́ òsì wà. Ẹ wojú mi dáadáa, ẹ wò mí dáadáa. Èmi ni Koikimedia. Kò sí tí ẹnìkankan lè sọ láti fi intimidate irú èmi mọ́. Èmi náà máa pé 50 láìpẹ́ láì jìnà lágbára Elédùmarè. Èmi náà máa dàgbà jù ìyá mi lọ, nítorí pé ìyá mi dàgbà sí mi lọ́wọ́, ọwọ́ mi dẹ̀ ló kú sí. Bí mo ṣe wá nífẹ̀ẹ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin ìyá wa, ẹ̀yin bàbá wa, tí mo fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ tí mo fi nífẹ̀ẹ́ yín, tó bá jẹ́ pé lórí ti president Bola Ahmed Tinubu ni àjọ máa wojú ara wa, Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ kémi wojú yín, torí pé ọmọdé tó gbọ́n tó dẹ̀ ní ẹ̀kọ́ ni mí. Bọ̀ tó bá ti di pé ká má bá wojú ara wa, ká má bá bára wa jẹ́, nítorí pé àtijọ́ nífẹ̀ẹ́ ara wa níbi tá ti ń bọ̀, torí àkúkú jọ mọ́ra rí tẹ́lẹ̀. Ọlọ́run ló gbé gbogbo wa pàdéra wa. Mo wá kàn fi eléyìí fi dá wa lójú pé lórí ọ̀rọ̀ president Bola Ahmed Tinubu, ọmọlódò ọdẹ Jagaban 4+4, kò sí ẹnì kankan tí ó lè sọ nǹkan kan tí ó lè yí padà. Mo kàn fi make sure pé background mi ẹ̀ ó clear dáadáa. Àbọ̀rọ̀ mo yé nísìn, mo ì tí rẹni tí ó lè sọ fún mi pé Koikimedia in tó tún wá gbé dání nísìn kò yé wa mọ́. Koikimedia in tó tún ṣàlàyé fún wa kò fi yé wa mọ́. Ǹjẹ́ o lè ṣàlàyé ẹ̀ lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́? Kò ṣàlàyé kankan tí mo fẹ́ ṣe mọ́, torí a ti wà ní campaign. Torí ibi táwa bá ti ń ṣàlàyé, àwọn Fúlàní, àwọn Atiku, àwọn tí ń parọ́ fáwọn èèyàn wọn, wọ́n ti ń sọ fáwọn èèyàn wọn pé àwọn máa gbé fuel subsidy padà. Àwọn dẹ̀ máa ṣe gbogbo tí ó máa fi pé ọmọ Nàìjíríà tí ebi ò ní pa yín mọ́, ìyà ò ní jẹ yín. In tí Atiku ń sọ fún, ẹ má bínú, mo fẹ́ kí náà ẹ kó píìkì díẹ̀ ni, láwọn kó bẹ́tà díẹ̀ nísìn. In tí Atiku, ìyẹn ọmọ Fúlàní, tó ń sọ fún àwọn tiẹ̀ nìyẹn. Ó ń jẹ́ kó yé wọn pé ọmọ Yorùbá ló yọ subsidy, ṣùgbọ́n ọmọ Fúlàní máa dá padà. Atiku ní ọmọ Yorùbá òun ló yọ subsidy. Subsidy yẹn dẹ̀ ni gbogbo wa fi ń gbérí nígbà tí a rò pé a lówó lọ́wọ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ Nàìjíríà. Ìjọba ni ó ń subsidize epo. But epo tíjọba ń subsidize, mo rò pé mẹ̀kúnnù kan wà tó lóun jàǹfààní ẹ̀. Èmi ò rò pé ọmọ state kan nílẹ̀ Oòduà àbí ní gbogbo Nàìjíríà ó jàǹfààní ẹ̀ àbọ̀rọ̀mọ̀yé nísìn. So in tí mo kàn máa jẹ́ kó yé wa ni pé ibi tí ọ̀rọ̀ dé lálẹ́ yìí, níbi tí ìgbìyànjú wa dé, tí mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé Ọlọ́run tó ní wá, tó ní bàbá wa Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu kò ní pa fún wa nísìn, kò dẹ̀ ní gbé ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ lé àwọn tí wọ́n máa fi yọ ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ sílẹ̀. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èèyàn gan tẹ̀ ń béèrè pé kí ni ta rí gan sef ta fi ń wa kinní kan ní irú lọ́bẹ̀. Ẹ mọ̀ pé mi ò mọ̀wé pa, gbogbo tó bá wọn olúkálukú ni ó lè fẹ̀yàn rẹ̀ sọ, in tó bá wọn olúkálukú ni ó lè fi etí ara ẹ̀ gbọ́, in tó bá dẹ̀ wọn olúkálukú òun náà ni ó lè fi etí ẹ̀ àti ojú ẹ̀ àti imú ẹ̀ tó lọ fi gbọ́. Ẹ̀rí pẹ̀rí mi lójọ́ tójọ́ mẹ́ta nítorí pé àwa náà ní tí ó bú wa tí a fi wà ní off air, but à ń ṣe fídíò tàwọn olóyìnbó fáwọn tó bá gbọ́yìnbó a lè help yín. Ti fídíò tàwọn olóyìnbó tí mò ń ṣe yẹn, mò ń ṣe yẹn directly lọ bá gbogbo ọmọ Nàìjíríà kó lè bá mọ̀ pé iléeṣẹ́ Koikimedia, ọmọ Yorùbá àtàtà, ọmọ ilẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjíire, ó dúró tán fún President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Ìyẹn ni mò ń ṣe ní English ní bí i 5-10 minutes. Ìyẹn dẹ̀ máa lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ títí tá máa fi parí campaign, election máa fi dé, tí President Tinubu máa fi wọlé. But tá bá ti wá ń ṣe live, àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ni mò ń bá sọ̀rọ̀. Àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tí mo dẹ̀ ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ kò ń ṣe Fúlàní ọmọ Yorùbá ni mò ń bá sọ̀rọ̀, kò ń ṣe ọmọ àlè Yorùbá ni mò ń bá sọ̀rọ̀, kò ń ṣe ọmọ Yorùbá tí kò ní etí ìgbọ́, kò ń ṣe ọmọ Yorùbá tí ó ń wo ìní nìkan tí kò wo ọ̀la, kò ń ṣe ọmọ Yorùbá tó máa sọ fún mi pé ṣèbí ibi tí ó sọ fún wa pà ń lọ ibẹ̀ kọ́ là ń lọ mọ́ nísìn. Àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá yẹn kọ́ ni mò ń bá sọ̀rọ̀. Àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tí mo fẹ́ bá sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn ni pé President Bola Ahmed Tinubu òun nìkan ló kájú ẹ̀ láti dí pẹ̀lú gbogbo in táwọn Fúlàní àti Kàbá tó ti fi wá jẹ níyà. Bí mo ti ṣe wá ń kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa, ẹ má yẹ kí n dárúkọ torí àsìkò, torí time ó ṣe pàtàkì. Live program là ń wò yìí, mo bẹ̀ yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń kọ́ọ̀tì fídíò, má kọ́ọ̀tì fídíò mi torí a máa flag ẹ̀, ó dẹ̀ máa affect monetization ẹ̀. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbowó lórí YouTube, olúkálukú ló mọ iye tó ń wọlé sí account ẹ̀ ní every month. Èmi mọ iye tó ń wọlé sọ́dọ̀ tèmi, èmi lè sọ, kò ń ṣe táwa lè fi bò. Bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn tó kù bá lè sọ fún yín pé àwọn ń gbowó. Ẹni tó bá ti monetize, tẹ́ bá ti rí advert lórí page wọn, ó wà monetize nìyẹn. Ẹni tí kò bá ti sí advert wọ́n monetize nìyẹn. Wọ́n bá dẹ̀ monetize yẹn lára èrè iṣẹ́ tí yàn ń ṣe náà ni. Èmi ò lè wá máa ṣe wàhálà pẹ̀lú àwọn staff mi kẹ́nìkan wá kọ̀ dé láàárọ̀ kó gbé fídíò wa kó wá gbé gbogbo ẹ̀ kẹ́ kọ́tẹ̀ kẹ́ gbé lọ sórí page yín, especially tèmi fúnra ara mi ṣe. Mo fún yín authority kẹ́ lo fídíò mi, mo ń wọ́n ní yín nísìn. Ẹ má yẹ ká wojú ara wa. Bẹ́ bá fẹ́ lo fídíò, ẹ wá fídíò àwọn ní fídíò kẹ́ gbé. Ẹ má lo fídíò Koikimedia nítorí pé ó máa mú ìjà dání. Torí tá bá ti flag ẹ̀, bẹ́ bá lọ bá olóyè Ìgbòho ṣà pé kó pè mí, màá sọ fún olóyè pé owó tẹ̀yìn náà rí yẹn kó disconnect fún ọdún mẹ́ta bí Lai Muhammed bó ṣe jẹ́ kó disconnect monetization wa fún almost 3 years tí a rí owó gbà lórí YouTube. Owó tó dẹ̀ ń wọrí YouTube wa a fi manage àwọn staff àtara wa. So kò ní wá dá nígbà tí a bá ti flag yín lẹ máa lọ bá olóyè, lẹ máa lọ bá àwọn kan pé kó lọ bá mi bẹ Koikimedia. So mo bẹ̀ yín, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti wọlé ẹ rí mi lẹ́nujọ́ mẹ́ta yìí, kò pọ̀ jù tí ẹ bá kọ́kọ́ thumbs up. Tí a bá rí 50 thumbs up máa end broadcast yẹn, kò ń ṣe tèrè. Tá a bá ṣe program ẹ wá bò mí lọ tẹ́ máa ti lọ wo program yín. So tá bá ti rí 50 a continue, tá a bá rí 50 a end broadcast yẹn, a lọ sùn. Èyí tí mo tún fi sọ lálẹ́ yìí a máa sọ nígbà mi, torí pé bí a bá tẹ̀ fẹ́ support President Tinubu, in tó ti mú yín jókòó tẹ́ fẹ́ gbọ́ mi yẹn, orí TV lẹ tí wo ni ẹ lọ sórí iPad yín kẹ́ lọ thumbs up tá a bá ti rí 50 lórí YouTube I end the broadcast yẹn I will leave it for another 10 minutes so mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ tí ń wọlé ká filẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí TikTok mo kí yín kò ń ṣègbéraga bẹ́ẹ̀ kúkú rí mi náà ẹ lọ sọ́nà that channel ẹ lọ wo nǹkan tó ń sọ níbẹ̀ olúkálukú ló ń káàkiri èmi náà máa ń káàkiri àìmọye YouTube video tèmi náà gbé síwájú mi báyìí bẹ́ẹ̀ mi bá tẹ̀tú lọ wo YouTube video ẹlòmíì irú eléyìí nísìn tí ó wà wájú mi nísìn brother wa Edmond Obilo 3 months ago ló ṣe fídíò yìí 38,000 èmi náà mo ti thumbs up lé lórí so kò ní wá dá ta wá ṣe live ta ṣe máa sọ fún yín pé thumbs up ẹ like ní kẹ́ fún wa lówó nísìn kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ thumbs up lásán ẹ lè thumbs up a ṣe Yorùbá Nation fún 5 years ẹlòmíì tẹ́ bá lọ wo page àwọn tó ń complain nísìn ordinary share wọ́n share lọ síbẹ̀ ó wá ń bi mí nísìn pé tí ibo ni Yorùbá Nation wà ó wà lọ́dọ̀ dádì àti mọ́mì ẹ̀ ibẹ̀ la tọ́jú ẹ̀ pamọ́ sí wà ní kí dádì ẹ̀ àti mọ́mì ẹ̀ kọ́ sí wardrobe kọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ yọ Yorùbá Nation jáde ńbẹ̀ bomb bastard àwọn ọmọ àlè ó ti jẹ́ ẹ̀wà tí dòdò ikùn mi lé táyín ní tí ó yẹ ká ṣe máa wò á refresh tí a bá rí 50 likes I continue tá a bá rí end broadcasting and I'm not joking about it so kò ń ṣe dandan pé kẹkúkú gbọ́hùn mi èyí tí mo fi ṣe mo ti ń dàrẹ́tẹ̀ lọ sọ́dọ̀ àwọn Nigerians torí Nigerians etí wọn ti di wọ́n gbọ́n kankan wọ́n dẹ̀ lè gbọ́n kankan tílẹ̀ máa fi ṣú ebi ń pa wá ìyà ń jẹ wá ta lè bí ipa everybody lè bí ń pa so mo kí gbogbo èèyàn wa ajo àṣẹ láṣẹ Èdùmàrè mo kí ẹ olóyè Ìgbòho Òòṣà ẹkùn kan Fúlàní gbogbo Èkìtì mì tìtìtìtì ni Ọlọ́run ló ní ká ní ẹ lọ́wọ́ bí wọn bá nírú ẹ mẹ́ta àwọn Fúlàní tó ń ṣe gàba lé president Tinubu gbogbo wọn pátá àti lé wọn lọ bọ̀ nígbà tí Buhari ò jẹ́ kí a lé wọn lọ òun ni ó ṣe jẹ́ pé wọ́n tún wá ṣe kí ni wọ́n tún wá pọ̀ sí so mo kí wa lẹ́ǹkan sí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti wọlé ẹ ṣé gan ni ká máa wọra wa lójú àbí ẹ rí pé àwọn kan ti sá lọ irú àwọn yẹn nísìn àwọn yẹn ọ̀fẹ́ ọkọ̀ fẹ́ wá wo kí ni Koiki fẹ́ wá sọ bí àwọn tó wá láti ọ̀dọ̀ Ìjìnlẹ̀ Marcus mo gbọ́ pé yẹn náà tẹ̀ ó jókòó sí Turkey kò níwèé láti jáde kúrò ní Turkey èmi ni mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ tó bá níwèé ni ẹni kó wọ plane kó wá Nàìjíríà kó dẹ̀ padà kò tó bẹ́ẹ̀ ó máa há sí Nàìjíríà gbogbo ẹni tó bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ Ìgbòho àti ṣó yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo gbọ́ pé yẹn náà ń sọ̀rọ̀ olóyè Ìgbòho níbì kan ẹni kí o gbọ́ wá Nàìjíríà wọ́n lè wá Nàìjíríà nǹkan kan dẹ̀ lè ṣe wọ́n tó bá wá Nàìjíríà bọ́ wọ́n lè wá Nàìjíríà torí pé abroad tó jókòó sí yẹn òun ló ń fún wọn ní wings àwọn tó wà Nàìjíríà wọ́n dájú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ẹni tó wà ní diaspora lọ kò ń ṣe tèpè kò ń ṣe tẹnu ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà Nàìjíríà tẹ́ ń wò mí ẹ mọ̀ kí máa ń sọ ní gbogbo ìgbà ẹ mọ̀ kí máa ń sọ many times púpọ̀ nù yín ẹ better off ju àwa tá wà ní diaspora lọ púpọ̀ nù yín ẹ forget about ìyà ń jẹ yín ebi ń pa yín ẹ níṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́ I am saying it categorically brain tó wà lọ́wọ́ yín ní Nàìjíríà ó strong ju brain tàwa lọ torí brain tiwa ká lọ bíṣẹ́ ká dé òyìnbó ti program wa ó ti program wa àti bẹ̀rẹ̀ program torí pé as far as I'm concerned àrí 50 people òyìnbó ti program wa bóyìnbó dẹ̀ ṣe program wa ni pé o gbọ́dọ̀ san insurance mọ́tò irú wọn nísìn kò ṣe dandan ní kò san insurance mọ́tò tọ́lọ́pàá bá dẹ dúró nísìn wàá bá argue tọ́lọ́pàá bá dẹ dúró nínú Nàìjíríà wàá bá fa wàhálà ara system tó ṣiṣẹ́ ni but ó work fún yín but irú èmi nísìn tẹ́ ń bá gbé mọ́tò jáde nísìn tọ́lọ́pàá bá dá mi dúró nísìn pé kò ní insurance àkọ́kọ́ ni kí n park animal ní right láti wa mọ́tò yẹn mọ́ àgbà mọ́tò yẹn kúrò lọ́wọ́ mi kò ń ṣe pé ẹ ní brain Nàìjíríà ló yọ brain yẹn kúrò táwọn kàbá àwọn Fúlàní tó bàjẹ́ for many decades kó tó di pé President Tinubu dé ó yẹ ká ṣe máa dúpẹ́ àtẹni tó fẹ́ restructure àtẹni tó fẹ́ kúrò ní country ó yẹ ká ṣe máa dúpẹ́ lálẹ́ yìí fún President Bola Ahmed Tinubu ó tẹ̀ bá wa hold ẹ̀mí wa tí kò jẹ́ kó já mọ́ àwọn Fúlàní lọ́wọ́ ẹ bá mi share kẹ́ like kẹ́ thumbs up mo ní ó yẹ ká dúpẹ́ fún President Bola Ahmed Tinubu ó yẹ ká dúpẹ́ fún pé kò tí jẹ́ kí ẹ̀mí wa kó bọ́ sọ́wọ́ àwọn Fúlàní if not in tá à ń sọ ìkọlà wọn máa sọ plan táwọn Fúlàní ní oh my God plan táwọn Fúlàní ní ó kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀ mo kí gbogbo wa ṣẹrẹ ìtẹ́ wà ń lé ẹjẹ́ ń kí yín dáadáa lóòótọ́ tá bá wálé ìgbà tí mo lọ Nàìjíríà yìí ẹ̀yin yọ̀ sí mi lọ́rùn ni pé torí pé ó jẹ́ bàbá ìlú òyìnbó ká kọ̀ fún ní ọ̀wọ̀ ká respect ẹ̀ àti pé torí jẹ́ akíkanjú ọmọ ó dẹ̀ jẹ́ olólùfẹ́ ọmọ Oòduà ọmọ káàárọ̀ òjíire arákùnrin ó nífẹ̀ẹ́ Yorùbá ara àfẹ́ Yorùbá tèmi ní nísìn lèmi ti tètè ya tètè tó pẹ̀lú President Tinubu ìfẹ́ tí mo ní sí Yorùbá ni tá bá fi dídà tẹlẹ́run ara tèmi ìyẹn lè má ṣe but in tó bá ti sọ pé ó nífẹ̀ẹ́ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tí ò dẹ̀ kì í ṣe Jésù ò ń ṣànábì a dẹ̀ kí gbogbo àwọn governors wa Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún mo kí gómìnà mo kí bàbá wa Babájídé Sanwó-Olú àmọ́ tó dé táwọn tó kù tí wọ́n fún wa ní ìṣẹ̀ṣe dè wọ́n ti gbàgbé pé ìṣẹ̀ṣe làgbà ṣẹ́rẹ́ ìtẹ́wà nílé sẹ́ mo ní you are more superior than millions of diaspora in tó ń jẹ́ ká máa bùgá sí yín ṣẹfẹ́ rí òun náà lélẹ̀ owó yìí ni £20 ló ń wò yìí gbogbo tó ń jẹ́ kí diaspora lálẹ́ tẹ́ ń gbọ́ mi kó máa bùgá sí yín òun lélẹ̀ currency yìí ni dọ́là ó dà pé yẹn wà nínú mo ní yẹn nínú ilé ń bẹ̀ dọ́là àti pounds àti Canadian dollar owó mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta yẹn bí a euro tábà àdẹ̀mọ́ mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin yẹn but àwọn ìlú kan tó wà ní Middle East tábà mú Qatar tábà mú Kuwait owó wọn náà strong ó nẹ̀mí tó pọ̀ gbogbo tó ń jẹ́ kí diaspora kó lè fi pé we are superior forget about it tá bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ education Nigeria ò standard but most of you were more educated ju àwa diaspora lọ ṣebí mo rí tí wọ́n ṣe fún àwọn kan ní 20 million naira ìyẹn gọ́vnà Babájídé Sanwó-Olú lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kí ni reason àṣẹ fún ọ lówó ṣé Cambridge àwọn yẹn ti kàwé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo lówó £20 mo ṣe yọnu wallet mi ni mo tẹ̀ mọ́ reason tá a ṣe ń rí orí ìyá ṣàlẹ̀ orí bàbá ṣàlẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀ka máa rí bẹ́ẹ̀ nísìn that is £20 èló ni £20 lẹ́ni nísìn ta ló mọ exchange rate ta ló fún mi ní exchange rate lálẹ́ I think the dollar is 1,350 because mo rí pé àwọn staff mi ṣe article lórí dollar ẹ bá lọ sórí website wa www.koikimediainternationalnews.com gbogbo tó ń jẹ́ kí diaspora lálẹ́ gbowole tí diaspora bá fẹ́ gbé ẹ dìde lálẹ́ kò sí bó ṣe lè fẹ́ tó èèyàn tó ó sì lè kọ́kọ́ fẹ́ ṣàkárẹ́ pé kí n send £2,000 ẹ wá dìde wàá kọ́kọ́ sáré gbọ́ etí àṣìnà díẹ̀ pé £2,000 but tó bá jẹ́ pé bí tí ìwọ náà ní equivalent of that £2,000 nínú náírà account ẹ tó mọ̀ kó wà kọ́ sọ fún diaspora yẹn pé o busy o wà níbi agbo fàájì bí agbo òbésèrè ló wà ní àbí agbo Pasuma àbí ti bàbá mi Òṣùpá níbẹ̀ ló ti ń ṣe fàájì ló ti ń gbafẹ́ wà ní kọ́ jẹ́ kọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn kó di àárọ̀ ọ̀la 1,870 ní owó lórí lẹ́mfì èmi náà máa ń lò dáadáa mo kí olóyè Ìgbòho kọ́lọ̀ foríjì màmá mi 1,889 now ẹ ṣé gan ẹ̀yin yá wa Abíọ́lá ẹ ṣé gan ni mà ẹ bá mi wá ṣírò èlò ní £20 yìí ní náírà lálẹ́ mo mọ̀ pé ta bá ní kẹ́ thumbs up ẹlòmíà ní Kóìkì kò yé wa náà ní so mo ti dá sí gbogbo alára after 5 years tí mo bá ṣe máa thumbs up mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti wọlé ẹ má kí máa dárúkọ yín torí gbà ló máa ní ó dà pé òun ṣojúṣe ojú okay ó ṣáà ti yé yín nígbà tí bá dárúkọ ọ̀kan tá dárúkọ ọ̀kan so mo kí gbogbo wa pé kalẹ̀ mo fẹ́ fi 2 hours mo fẹ́ fi ṣe presentation yìí mo dẹ̀ ti lo 25 minutes euro is 1,615 èló ni 20 pounds ẹ bá mi sáré gbé lọ 1 pound is 1,870 èló ni ẹ máa jẹ́ 38,000 naira ni mo dì mú yìí 38,000 naira or 37,780 kápẹ̀ sí 38,000 that is about the average not the minimum wage tí wọ́n ní kó san fún yín but tá bá ní ká sanwó fáwọn staff ó sì láwọn staff wa kan náà táwa náà lè san minimum wage fún àlè parọ́ ó sì láwọn staff mi kan tẹ́ pé they are getting around 37,000 lọ́wọ́ mi every month but ó ní clause èmi mo ra data fún wọn àwọn ọjọ́ mi wà ọjọ́ 10,000 ọjọ́ 15 ọjọ́ ọ̀gá ẹnugbẹ ó yá gbà so tí bá cap gbogbo ẹ̀ they might be getting about 50,000 lọ́wọ́ mi but alẹ́ ni tó ń gba more than 100,000 òun ṣiṣẹ́ débẹ̀ alẹ́ ni tó ń gba 45,000 gbogbo bí iṣẹ́ dẹ̀ ní lágbàáyé gbogbo yóò lè gba salary kan náà kódà ní NHS lè gba salary kan náà cleaner ò lè gba the same salary pẹ̀lú nurse tó wà lórí floor mo kàn fẹ́ lè fi ṣe àpèjúwe ọ̀rọ̀ fáwọn àtàwà ń lé pé àníṣe Nàìjíríà ló ṣe àkóbá àdábá fún wa ṣé President Tinubu lè dáwó yẹn padà tó máa di 1-to-1 wọ̀ ní lè dá padà ó ti late ìdí dẹ̀ ni pé President Tinubu bá ṣì ń gbọ́ sí àwọn IMF àti World Bank olórí burúkú lẹ́nu wọ́n ní jẹ́ kí wọ́n ṣe tó fẹ́ ṣe lórí ọ̀rọ̀ monetary policy torí pé àwọn wèrè IMF àwọn olè World Bank àwọn ni wọ́n ṣe àkóbá àdábá fún Nàìjíríà kò dẹ̀ ń ṣe why tí President Tinubu wà níbẹ̀ mo fẹ́ kí a farabalẹ̀ àti wọnú ètò lọ nìyẹn torí pé bíbá yóò ń ṣe bí tí akọ̀ máa wá ta máa jókòó ta máa sọ̀rọ̀ o gbọ́dọ̀ lè rí nǹkan mú jáde lọ whether you disagree with my views on President Bola Tinubu or not the view is ṣé President Tinubu ní IMF tó destroy Nigerian currency torí mo máa ń gbọ́ táwọn kan ní ẹ nígbà tí Buhari wà níbẹ̀ iye báyìí ní dọ́là mo máa ń gbọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ pé nísìnyí iye báyìí ní epo nígbà tí Buhari wà níbẹ̀ but kí ló fa gbogbo problem yẹn kí ló dé tí figure ìgbà tí Buhari wà níbẹ̀ àti ìgbà tí President Bola Tinubu wà níbẹ̀ kí ló dé tí figure yẹn tí kò rhyme tí kò dúró tí kò adjust kí ni APR tẹ́ fi ń yáwó ní Nàìjíríà kí ni percentage tẹ́ fi ń yáwó is 2 digits am I right ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Nàìjíríà mo sọ fún pé gbọ́n jù mí lọ tí bá ti ń béèrè ẹ kò bá mi ẹ máa dá mi lóhùn mo monitor àwọn comment section wa mo ní kí ni APR tó bá fi lọ sí bank pé kọ́kọ́ yẹ ní 1 million naira kí ni APR tó ń lò fún yín percentage is 2 digits but lọ́dọ̀ tiwa is 1 digit so 1 digit mean pé tí bá fẹ́ gba loan nísìn loan UK APR the average APR is about depend 5.7 compare cheap personal loans ibi kan wà tó máa ń pè ní money supermarket oríṣiríṣi nǹkan ló ń ṣe níbẹ̀ wàá máa bèèrè pé supermarket bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o lè ra insurance mọ́tò gbogbo nǹkan ló lè ṣe níbẹ̀ so tí bá wá ní mo fẹ́ gba loan now okay I have it here now tí bá fẹ́ yá loan lọ́wọ́ Santander báńkì kan ló ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀ ó dàbí equivalent of your first bank mo sì fẹ́ kẹ́ máa wo owó yìí náà ni o the APR is 8% 1 digit APR ẹ ṣe gan ni Kuwait Raptor or Rector wọ́n ní Nàìjíríà lálẹ́ yìí Koiki 25% Lord Mayor ẹni 2.5 ṣé ní Nàìjíríà àbí ní pounds 1 million naira. Let's go back again. Ẹ funny, let's see. You are living in Western world and you still believe Westerners are controlling Nigeria. As how? You see, while we need to educate many Nigerians and non-Nigerians, but mostly Nigerians. Checking out Fuini how. The how is that as your market today in Nigeria, everything in Nigeria is determined from outside Nigeria. It doesn't matter Eshegon in Lord Mayor, one in GT Bank, Eshegon. Makpara sorry comment here. Again, deal with ẹni tó ń béèrè pé how, báwo ni wọ́n ṣe ń control wa láti ìta. How many people believe that we are still controlled from outside? I believe, ọwọ́ mi wà lókè. Nigeria does not have a say when it comes to IMF controlling you. Ṣé rántí pé mo ṣe program pé ṣé Dubai ni àbí UAE wọ́n pull out of IMF wọ́n náà wọ́n bá wọn ṣe mọ́. If no, not even IMF, the OPEC. I'm talking about OPEC. And I remember that program was about a few months back. I think UAE pull out of OPEC. United Arab Emirates. Eshegoni Motiniyo to confirm it now lórí TikTok. Baba wa Adeniran Aderele Oyetunji, one I believe 100%. But lórí YouTube no. But there are many Nigerians Ajasco òun ló gbé ní káàkiri kò gbowó lọ́wọ́ wa akànrẹ́pọ̀ sí mọ́tò ni kọ́lọ́n bá wà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ àjọ lọ Òṣogbo lọ lé Ifẹ̀ ni Ọlọ́run bá nífẹ̀ẹ́. So ẹni tó sì wà nílé tó wá sọ fún mi pé èmi believe, yes I believe that we are still under the control and the influence of the Western world. Kódà wọ́n ní say nínú election tó ń bọ̀ yìí, election tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣe yìí wọ́n ní say ẹni tó máa endorse ẹni tó máa support. Wọ́n lè ní conflict of interest. America lè sọ pé òun máa support President Tinubu. UK ẹlẹ́nu méje ni wọ́n bó ṣe ń jẹ níbí jẹni tọ̀hún bó ṣe ń bá Fúlàní ṣe ló ń bá Yorùbá ṣe ló ń bá Ìgbò ṣe. Gbogbo game tí British play out during that era ó difficult fún wọn láti play ẹ̀ nísìn but wọ́n ṣì ń play. Now you are asking sensible question. Why can't Nigerian politicians reject all program that is not favorable to their citizens? Because they are not going to do so. It's part of the corrupt system. It's as simple as that. Will you now say, but Koikimedia, President Bola Tinubu now are corrupt? President Bola Tinubu is not corrupt, but the system that President Bola Tinubu is trying to manage right now is a corrupt system. And let me now take you back. Gbogbo ilẹ̀ ti rí video tí mo ṣe nípa Dèjì Adéyanjú. Let's put that out quickly. Let me put that out quickly. Torí pé this platform is still your best platform when it comes to analyzing the issues. Tí mo fi ń sọ pé mo fẹ́ support President Bola Tinubu. Nígbà tí President Tinubu fẹ́ contest àkọ́kọ́, fún wọn ní endorsement, the support wọn nítorí ntáwa gbé dání nígbà yẹn. And yes, you are right, Mr. Jacob. The main killer of the Nigerian economy is corruption. How do we deal with that corruption? Bí mo ṣe ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ lálẹ́. News ti jáde báyìí, ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́.
ICPC has uncovered another fake agency.
Kí kọ́kọ́ ṣàlàyé fún yín. This is the chairman of ICPC, Musa Aliyu. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀?
Office.
Wanted to find out pé there is another criminal individual, Nigerians, tó lọ set up office pé òun represent Nigeria. Sherry, Nigeria is a country full of KC luxury. Àbí kí lẹ ń pè? Ọmọ Yorùbá yẹn, when it comes to fraud, when it comes to wire fraud, when it comes to káyé document, Yorùbá mọ̀ ń pẹ̀ dáadáa. Gbogbo alámọ̀ yẹn, ẹ má ká fi bò. Tá bá ní ká yí document, ká change ẹ̀, ká sọ méjì, ká sọ dẹyọ kan, ká ṣe wired fraud. Yorùbá mọ̀ ń pẹ̀ dáadáa. Gbogbo alámọ̀ bí kan tó ń pè ní Olúwọlé níjọ́ kan. Kò sẹ́ni tó máa náà wọ́n gbọ́ Olúwọlé rí. Ẹ̀yin Gen Z tó ṣẹ̀ bí nísìn, ẹ máa gbọ́ pé Olúwọlé. All these talks are nonsense. Let's kick Tinubu out. Omoworo Peter, Omo Ali. One bastard. Now your baba will go kick out. Omo Ali, Olobuku. Let's kick Tinubu out. Tinubu is a fraud. Your papa na fraud. Oloshi. Let's kick Tinubu out. While you kick it out, that is your next president. Ni delete ma fi ti gbon tan so. Olobuku Omo Ali, Omo Ofu. Let's kick Tinubu out. That deal la ma kick out. President Tinubu, this is part of the corrupt system that we have dealt with for 60 years in that corrupt system. And in any government, even under President Bola Tinubu's nose, there are millions of corruption going on a daily basis. Lójoojúmọ́ ni o, lára corruption ẹni ìwọ náà tí òun wọ ọ̀kadà tó san tax fún government. A mọ̀ pé Koiki ó ṣe jẹ́ tàwọn ló kọ́kọ́ fi bẹ̀rẹ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Ìwọ tó ń wọ ọ̀kadà tó san tax. Àbí kátẹ̀wá sọ pé òkè ṣèbí inú ìlú làwa wà. Àwọn Fúlàní tó ń da màálù kiri inú igbó. Ǹjẹ́ gbọ́ pé wọ́n san tax rí fún government. Ta ló wá ń ra màálù jù tó ń jẹ́ jù? Àwa Yorùbá ni. So àwa là ń san tax Fúlàní from all the atrocities tó ń ṣe fún wa. Because when it comes to eating this cow, Yoruba people are mainly the only people and the only tribes that eat cow on a daily basis. Ló ń pa màálù lójoojúmọ́. Màálù tó ń pa l'Ékòó, Ọlọ́run ló mọ iye ọ̀ka ẹ̀. Màálù tó ń pa ní Ìbàdàn, màálù tó ń pa l'Ékìtì. Every blessed day, a gbọ́dọ̀ pa màálù. And that màálù is now a problem. Ibẹ̀ kọ́ la fẹ́ lò. A fẹ́ padà sọ́dọ̀ olè, ọmọ jàgùdà, Atiku. Tó sọ pé ó máa dá subsidy padà. But ká tó débẹ̀, à ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa corruption. Ní alẹ́, just tonight alone, tonight, 3 permanent secretaries have now been uncovered. Another fake agency. How? That is the boldness of the criminality in Nigeria. That people can set up a office next even to Aso Rock where President Tinubu is sleeping. And they will tell you that it is confirmed from President Tinubu. That is the kind of, audacity that Nigerians have been able to build for many decades. A rotten system, a failed system that has failed you from not able to have money in your pocket. This is 38,000 naira. That means as poor as rich I am tonight, I still have 20 pounds. You should also have equivalent of 38,000 naira. Nowhere, buy. Kò ṣe pé kò ná, kò ṣe pé kò fi anything. You should have 38,000. The reason why you don't have 38,000 naira is not because of President Tinubu. It's because for the last 60 years of Nigeria, the whole corrupt economy policy from Babangida to Buhari to Yaradua to Jonathan to 16 years of the PDP has all been a corrupt system, including the current administration. Yes, because they've just unraveled 3 permanent secretary or secretariat that are involved in criminality. Let's listen to the video once again. Please share the program and let us sit back and enjoy. Let's listen to this and we continue the program.
ICPC has uncovered another fake agency and office operating under the name National Brands Development and Mandates in the Nigeria Special Project Office which had been illegally allocated office space within the premises of the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. In light of the above, Mr. President has directed that the ICPC provide information surrounding this development in the spirit of transparency and accountability. The discovery of the fake office/agency, National Brands Development and Made in Nigeria Special Project Office by the ICPC was made in the course of ICPC's broader investigation as earlier directed by Mr. President.
Thank you so much, President Bola Tinubu, the man that is capable to complete the job. Some of you might ask, ìbéèrè lè wáyé pé Koiki irú job wo ló fẹ́ kí President Tinubu complete? Ṣé ìtò ń bá bọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ ni àbí láti dúró sínú Nigeria? Nigeria she exist as at alẹ́. Nigeria ò tí kúrò as at alẹ́. Inú Nigeria ni gbogbo wa ṣì wà. Nígbà tí mo travel lọ, nígbà tí mo fẹ́ book flight mi, wọ́n béèrè pé bo ni mo ń lọ, mo ní Nigeria. Wọ́n dẹ̀ béèrè pé kí ni mo fẹ́ lọ ṣe Nigeria, subject to whether you are a British passport holder, whether you are still carrying your Nigerian passport. Kódà tó bá tún wá carry Nigerian passport, like millions of us are still doing, even if you have another passport. Even as much as you have English passport, Canadian passport, American passport, whatever the passport, millions of you still travel to Nigeria using your Nigerian passport, and you will then have to fill the health clinic. I filled mine when I arrived at the Murtala Mohammed Airport. But where are we going tonight? Where actually do I want to take you tonight? Nothing more than the fact that Tinubu will continue until 2031. What happened after 2031 into Mashele will all happen before 2031. And what are those things? We will then come back to, let's go back to Deji Adeyanju. Deji Adeyanju is a brother of mine. I love him so much. More like in Kotonse, because he's also advocating for something. And he speaks his mind. And that is why, you know, when people say, this, that, we are not going to be on the same table. We're on the same table. I've done a short video, Neo Ede Oyinbo, mo post lánàá. Deji Adeyanju sọ ní orí page ìyẹn lórí X is one of the critics of President Bola Tinubu. He criticized Tinubu all the time. He criticized the government, which is good because that balanced the situation. But lórí pa wá campaign kò mí pé ní pé àkíyèsí sí President Bola Tinubu àtàwọn governor tó yí wọn ká. But the fact that Komo Yoruba máa sọ fún mi pé torí pé President Tinubu allegation wà pé wọ́n ṣe drug ní America, Fúlàní tó ń ṣe jàǹbá fún wa, so ká fi Fúlàní yẹn sílẹ̀ kó continue láti máa ṣe jàǹbá fún wa, àbí ká bẹ President Bola Tinubu tí Ọlọ́run ti gbé sí ipò yẹn kó bá wa deal pẹ̀lú Fúlàní tó fi pa wá. Torí ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ò fẹ́ yé mi, kò ní certificate. Ṣé Fúlàní ní certificate tó fi ń gbé ìbọn tó fi ń pa wá? Ní àná yìí, ìyá wa kan ní ṣé UK lọ́wọ́ àbá America, wọ́n ní wọ́n jí family wọn gbé. Bá ti ṣe ń sọ pé Iru Ekun ti wà establish, olóyè dẹ̀ ti confirm fún mi. In tó lóyè bá ti confirm fẹ́ mi, mo lè announce ẹ̀. Àìmọye flyer ló ń lọ káàkiri lórí social media. Èmi sì ní agbẹnusọ lóyè. Olóyè rẹ̀ ti jáde. Olóyè now other, individual personnel, and I greet Mr. Wisdom. I greet all those that are surrounding him every blessed day because I am not in Nigeria. So Olóyè need àwọn tó máa jẹ́ personal assistant wọn, àwọn security oríṣiríṣi. But tí Olóyè bá fẹ́ communicate pẹ̀lú anybody around the world as a spokesman, èmi ló máa kọ́kọ́ pè. Olóyè dẹ̀ ti confirm fún mi àti sọ̀rọ̀ ní èní pé Ekiti State ẹ lọ máa gbáradì, wọ́n bọ̀ wá launch Iru Ekun. Ẹ lè ní Koiki ẹ ti rí àwọn flyer state mi, ẹ ti rí èyí tí Olóyè ti confirm fún mi ni mò ń sọ nísìn. Tolóyè bá tún sọ pé láàárọ̀ ọ̀la state kan tuntun jáde, but Olóyè ní kí n sọ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pé ẹ lọ máa múra sílẹ̀ dòun, òun ń bọ̀ lẹ́kìtì. Olóyè was in Ekiti today. Mo kí bàbá wa Ajero I was there with them last year. Tẹ́ bá rántí pé July this time last year mo ti dé sílé ìgbà ńlá ló ń kí àwọn kábíyèsí ẹ ti gbàgbé ọjọ́ kì í pẹ́ kọ́lọ́n bá mi foríjì alájà kọ́lọ́n bá mi tẹ́ wọn sáfẹ́fẹ́ rí. Last year July mo wá sílé tí mo tabẹ̀ sí lọ sọ́dọ̀ Aláàfin tá à ń lọ káàkiri ẹ wá wo bí Elédùmarè ṣe gbé President Tinubu dé. So ọmọ Yorùbá tó ń condemn Tinubu nísìn ṣé ẹ rí pé olóyè ìyàtọ̀ ti wà ní. Ìyẹn lásán gan ó tó kí arábàbà ká bẹ President Tinubu fún in tó kù lọ́wọ́ President Tinubu ta fẹ́ gbà yẹn ká lè rí gbà gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọlúàbí. But fẹ́ ṣe ọmọlúàbí especially yìí diaspora ẹ wojú èmi dáadáa campaign tèmi fún President Tinubu àìtí bẹ̀rẹ̀ mo busy lẹ́nujọ́ mẹ́ta yìí lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí mo tútù dé yìí mo dẹ̀ ti sọ fún olóyè pé mo ti dé tán ó ní òun tẹ̀ ẹ́ expect pé ó yẹ kí n ti dé mo ní bàbá mi ẹ̀ ṣá ó yẹ yín ó don't understand because mo gbọ́dọ̀ tidy up one or two things tí bá ti tidy wọn tán mo ra ticket èmi lọ jókòó sílé pẹ̀lú olóyè a máa campaign fún President Tinubu a máa káàkiri a máa gbé mọ́tò mo máa sọ̀rọ̀ lórí podium àti àṣẹṣe mú ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni eléyìí tí mo ṣiṣẹ́ lórí nínú lérí káàṣe nínú studio yìí kékeré sì nìyẹn torí pé tí kò bá ń ṣe pé ìkà lọ́mọ Yorùbá ẹ̀yin fẹ́ jàǹfààní olóyè tí olóyè dẹ̀ jàǹfààní bàbá Tinubu àwa ní ká tọ̀ sójú kan kó lè hó nísìn ẹ wá ń ṣe ń sọ fún mi pé President Tinubu Amẹ́ríkà mórí Ṣòwòrẹ́ iṣẹ́ Ṣòwòrẹ́ nìyẹn America is gonna release Tinubu's file America is not gonna release it now America gbogbo yẹn Ṣòwòrẹ́ ó ti lulẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ kò sí kan tó lè mídíẹ̀ kò lè ṣe nothing mọ́ nísìn ayé yẹn ti kọjá nígbà tó ti lo Sahara reporter yẹn ó ti lọ èmi ò sọ pé àwọn làwọn wà lójú agbo nísìn ó yẹ yí èmi ò ní àwọn làwà lójú agbo bọ́ Ṣòwòrẹ́ Sahara reporter yẹn kò lè fi instigate President Bola Ahmed Tinubu èmi mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ó lè fi pépà yẹn Sahara reporter yẹn ó lè fi dẹ́rù bà anybody mọ́ nínú Nàìjíríà ìwọ tó gbowó lọ́wọ́ àwọn foundation tó fi set up Sahara reporter ibẹ̀ kọ́ la fẹ́ lọ so tó bá wùn ẹ́ kó kọ ẹni Atiku kódà kẹ́ sọ pé President Tinubu pé wọ́n ṣe gbé fáìlì kan jáde nísìnyí ó ń gbóná ní Yorùbá máa tẹ̀ka láti Èkìtì Kwara Kogi Ọ̀yọ́ gbogbo lẹ Yorùbá pátá a máa tẹ̀ka fún President Bola Ahmed Tinubu ọmọlódù ọdẹ 4x4 ṣé by 4 ni mo pè mo ti multiply ẹ̀ nìyẹn ẹ jẹ́ kí n sì dá padà sí 4 + 4 tó kọ́ máa ní Koiki iṣẹ́ tuntun ronú kan míì ni mo ní ìwọ Ọmọyẹlé Ṣòwòrẹ́ ìwọ́dẹ̀ ìpínlẹ̀ lọ́mọ Ondo State ó ní ó wá láti ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ó wá fẹ́ lo pépà yẹn ó fẹ́ fi destroy President Tinubu Fúlàní pa wá lójoojúmọ́ wọ́n ń jí wa gbé wọ́n ń ṣe jàǹbá fún wa ìwọ Ṣòwòrẹ́ ojókòó sẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ojókòó sábújá ṣẹ̀bọ̀ kóun náà ti ń lo elox àwọn náà ti ń gbé sójà kiri Ṣòwòrẹ́ ń dárìn mọ́ nísìn I'm sure pé tó bá yá nísìn ó máa pè Ìgbòho pé ǹjẹ́ ò ní bá wá àwọn ọmọ Ìrù Ẹkùn bíi mélòó kan tó máa tẹ̀lé mi lẹ́yìn torí pé àwọn ọmọ Ìrù Ẹkùn wọ́n dúró tán a ti surpass 80,000 a ti ń lọ towards 120,000 ọmọ Ìrù Ẹkùn voluntary tí wọ́n ti fún wọn lówó kò sẹ́ni kankan tó ń gbowó kò sẹ́ni kankan tó ń gba sálárì tí mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé lágbára Elédùmarè gbogbo yẹn máa gbọ́dọ̀ wáyé torí pé President Tinubu máa gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe bọ́jẹ̀tì fáwa Ìrù Ẹkùn náà bó ṣe bọ́jẹ̀tì fún Tòǹpolò ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà tí ó sì wà yẹn wọ́n máa fi tọ́jú Nàìjíríà wọ́n máa fi tọ́jú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá náà bí àwọn North bó ṣe fi owó Nàìjíríà tó fi tọ́jú North President Bola Ahmed Tinubu ní right láti lówó Nàìjíríà láti fi tọ́jú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá èmi dẹ̀ wà ní Nàìjíríà less than 10 ó ti ń lọ pé 2 weeks nísìn kò ṣe pé wọ́n sọ ṣẹlẹ̀ tẹ́ lọ́lé lè rí kankan àwa ń rìn títí dòru ni 1 a.m. la wọlé sí Ìbàdàn kò ń ṣe pé gbogbo títì yẹn dá o bọ̀ mo rí títì tó ń ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ tí iṣẹ́ ọ̀dẹ̀ dúró lórí ẹ̀ tó dẹ̀ wà ní gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá nísìn wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ lọ round the clock ni so ẹ jókòó síbẹ̀ kẹ́ máa condemn Tinubu láti inú yàrá yín nínú room tẹ́rọ́ra gbà òkè ẹ ti ra lé l'Amẹ́ríkà ẹ ti ra lé ní UK káwá wó Tinubu mọ́lẹ̀ tó ta bá wá wó Tinubu mọ́lẹ̀ inú Fúlàní àwa dùn ẹgbọ́n tí brother mi sọ mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ẹ máa wò pé Koiki ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ̀ tún wo ni bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ̀gbọ́n mi àtàtà ṣe rí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yóò mọ̀ pé àwa náà ti wà nínú mídíà ó tọ́jọ́ méjì kò sígbà tí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Ṣẹ́gun Ṣówùmí tó bá wọ London ó gbọ́dọ̀ pè mí ana búrò màá lẹ́gbọ́n kí ló tún dé báyìí títún dé àbí mo ò ní time ṣe wà busy ẹ̀yin ni spokesman Atiku Ṣẹ́gun Ṣówùmí ti jáde tán ọmọ Yorùbá àtàtà ó ní kíni ó sọ fún Ṣeun Ọ̀kínbalóyè ó ní a máa tẹ̀ka a máa dìbò a dẹ̀ máa win a dẹ̀ máa campaign fún President Bola Tinubu. I spoke to him I won't tell you when èmi àti ẹ̀gbọ́n mi sọ̀rọ̀ Ṣẹ́gun Ṣówùmí I've been to his house in Abẹ́òkúta in 2019 nígbà tí wọ́n fi ṣe election tí mo lọ cover election Ogun State Akínládé ìgbà yẹn Amosun was in support of Akínládé while àwọn Buhari àti Ọ̀ṣínbàjò they were in support of Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún ìyẹn bàbá wa Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún bàbá Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún náà àwọn náà ẹ wo bí ọdún mẹ́jọ ṣe lọ kọ́lọ̀ má jẹ́ ká kájọ́ burúkú. So I have been around but in tí mo gbé dání nígbà yẹn mo kọ̀ rọra fi gbogbo wọn sílẹ̀ sẹ́gbẹ́ kan but nísìn gbogbo àti assemble padà sójú kan padà mo sọ fún ẹ̀gbọ́n mi pé tí bá ti dé Nàìjíríà màá yọjú sí wọn l'Àbújá tí mo mọ̀ pé wọn gbé l'Abẹ́òkúta mọ́ Àbújá ló wà wọ́n busy nísìn campaign ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. So I spoke with him for more than an hour because mo confirm pé in tó sọ ní ọ̀dọ̀ Ṣeun Ọ̀kínbalóyè yẹn kò ń ṣe AI video so I have to call him and he has actually said it that even though he has not left PDP he is going to work for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu láṣẹ Èdùmàrè. I hope you are going to do the same thing. Ẹ̀yin ò ní ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ àbí? Ẹ fẹ́ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ bọ́ ẹ fẹ́ máa gbúròó lóyè. Ẹ fẹ́ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ dẹ̀ fẹ́ padà sílé. Torí pé tá bá náà fẹ́ padà sílé gbogbo a máa délé o. Láìpẹ́ láì jìnnà everybody will go back home at some point whether in the next 4 years whether after 4 years when the southwest of Nigeria has settled down because state police is coming. Let's quickly read this from Dejade Yanju Katoma Tesiwaju. Please share the program, thumbs up and like. I am the last man standing. Ẹ rò pé last man standing Yorùbá nation nìkan mo sọ ni. No, the last man standing to make sure that Yoruba land will work in unity. Yoruba people will speak with one voice. Àtàwọn tàti bára wa jà, tàti lọ back and forth, àti wá come back together nísìn. Ṣé rántí pé mo máa ń sọ kinní kan Voltron. How many people watch Voltron? Do you know Voltron? The defender of the universe. Now, Lion Temi, White Lion Temi, ó ti lọ join ti Ṣẹ́gun Ṣówùmí. Pam. Lion ti Igboho, ó ti wọlé pam Iru Ekun. Lion tẹ̀yìn náà kọ́ níbo ló máa wọlé sí? Kó lọ wọlé sọ́dọ̀ Atiku. Kó wọlé sọ́dọ̀ Peter Obi, inú yẹn á dẹ̀ dùn bí ọmọ Yorùbá torí pé bí ń pa ẹ́, ìwọ nìkan ni bí ń pa. Sister mi tí ó ní disability tó wà paralyzed. À ń pariwo brother wa kọ́lọ̀ máa fún ní brother wa ní àlàáfíà ògògó. Do you know how many Yoruba people are living with illness? But ìgbà tá pariwo wọn, àrí Davido kó jáde, àrí Wizkid kó jáde láti sọ pé Koiki ẹni tó ń sọ yìí níbo ló wà kábẹ́ lọ́rùn lọ́wọ́. Ó ń yàgbẹ́ sára, ó ń tọ̀ sára, ó ń ṣu sára. Ààrẹ ọmọ Yorùbá kankan tó ṣe prayer fún. But a dúpẹ́ pé ẹ dìde fún brother wa ògògó, Ọlọ́run bá mi fún wọn lálàáfíà. It shows the hypocrisy of Yoruba people and that is why táwa máa sọ fún President Bola Ahmed Tinubu pé tẹ́ bá ti padà wọlé dé gbogbo governor tí ẹ bá fún ní allocation ní every month tó bá ti ṣe dáadáa ẹ seize allocation yẹn ẹ seize it for some time because kò sí any reason while a girl like that is in Oyo State Ṣèyí Mákindé wà ń bẹ̀ kò ṣe nothing ọmọ yìí ń tọ̀ sára ó yàgbẹ́ sára èlò ló fẹ́ cost wọn láti pull ọmọ yẹn out níbi tó wà àti pariwo títí ọmọ yẹn ò rí help kankan èlò lẹ́yìn fẹ́ dá fún 20,000 10,000 somebody that needs continuous assistant but mo mọ̀ pé lágbára Elédùmarè President Bola Ahmed Tinubu ọmọ olódù ọdẹ èmi ò tí ní access sí bàbá o but èyí tá à ń sọ yìí a máa gbé bàbá débẹ̀ tàbá tí wàá gbé bàbá débẹ̀ àwa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí kó gbogbo fáìlì wa mọ̀ pé fáìlì fáwọn lóyìnbó a máa ní fáìlì wàá gbé fáìlì ẹ báyìí wàá lọ tẹ́ndẹ̀ sórí tébù iṣẹ́ tí bàbá Akíntóyè máa ṣe nìyẹn iṣẹ́ tí Ìgbòho ń ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ni Ìgbòho mo sọ fún ẹ pé Ọlọ́run tó lẹ̀mí ẹ kò ní já sọ́wọ́ ẹnì kankan gbogbo bí tó bá ti ń sa orúkọ ẹ àtẹ̀mí o tó ń pè wá ní pé a máa back to sender ni nítorí pé ìfẹ́ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá la ní kò sẹ́ni kankan tó rán wá ń ṣẹ́ ìfẹ́ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá la ní ìfẹ́ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá la gbé sọ́kàn nobody is paying us for nothing kò ń ṣe pé ẹ̀ ń fún wa lówó gbogbo rẹ̀ tẹ́ ṣe fún wa tẹ́ dẹ̀ ṣe fún wa èyí tẹ́ ń ṣe tẹ́ ẹ̀ dáwọ́ dúró Ọlọ́run ní kò ní bá bí tẹ́ ti ń yọ jẹ́ bọ̀yìn tẹ́ wá ní ẹ̀ ṣe mọ́ no problem in tá ń jẹ tá máa jẹ Ọlọ́run Elédùmarè á provide fún ìyàwó fún àwọn ọmọ but ìfẹ́ tá ní sílẹ̀ Yorùbá a ní jẹ́ kẹ́yìn kẹ́ contradicted látara pé ẹ̀ ń sọ fún pé President Tinubu ò ní certificate ẹ̀yin sọ fáwa pé President Tinubu ò ní certificate ta ló fún Fúlàní ní certificate tó fi ń pa wá it shows the hypocrisy of Yorùbá people but mo ti sọ fún kábíyèsí pé ọmọlúàbí ni mí àní bú ọmọ Yorùbá kankan mọ́ but a máa ṣí yín létí ìgbọ́ mo ò sọ pé kò sébi nínú Nàìjíríà má bá mi jiyàn ẹ̀ ebi tó wà nínú Nàìjíríà kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀ but tó bá ní owó díẹ̀ wàá gbádùn Nàìjíríà ilé tèmi ń gbé ó ń jẹ́ kó yé mi pé iná ò kúrò nínú ẹ̀ o fíríjì ń ṣiṣẹ́ lọ nítorí pé wọ́n ń top up iná yẹn kò ń ṣe gbogbo èèyàn ló lè rí iná lò but for now what we need is the continuity of President Bola Tinubu. It's almost 10:30 and we are really running out of time. Let's go back. Deji Adeyanju, 19th of August, he posted this. And I want you to listen. Because when we please thumbs up, share the program, invite àwọn èèyàn wá pé ọmọ yẹn ó ti jáde. Ó ti jáde. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, àtẹ̀lé sọ pé Sowore are useless, but kò lè lo platform yẹn mọ́ láti fi bring down President Tinubu àbí ẹni ọmọ Yorùbá mi. Ẹni tó bá ṣe crime o bí Casey Luxury. Ọmọ olè fọ̀. And I keep telling Nigerians, ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá, ẹ má ẹ̀kẹ́ni kankan intimidate yín. Ṣé ní gbogbo àwọn olówó jìbìtì olówó olè yìí, ra bebach, ra kinní kan, wàá kọ̀ sáré wàá parẹ́ dànù. Òun láti rí nísìn, cocaine ló ń gbé. Irú àwọn yẹn nísìn, òun àtàwọn, ẹ mọ̀ pé wọ́n sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé Yorùbá, àwa máa amọ̀ nípa wire fraud. But ẹni tó bá ti ń gbé cocaine, á máa bá àwọn ẹ̀yà kejì náà ṣe. Ọjọ́ ń ṣe ní 5 and 6. Ṣé rántí pé àwọn ẹ̀yà kejì, àwọn Igbo, wọ́n lọ set up drug ethanol ní Ogun State tó bust wọn láìpẹ́ yìí gbogbo ẹni tó bá ń ṣe drug ẹ fẹ́ fi balẹ̀ ayé jẹ́ ni ìlú tó bá dẹ̀ ti ń ṣe drug wọ́n ń lo drug ní UK náà wọ́n ń lo burúkú wọ́n ń lo l'Amẹ́ríkà ibẹ̀ yẹn ò ní gbérí mọ́ anywhere tẹ́ bá ti ń lo drugs society yẹn máa wà ó máa collapse anytime soon run away from drugs tó bá ti taste ẹ̀ tó bá ti lò tí ẹ ti bàjẹ́ nìyẹn Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí tiwa bàjẹ́ o now let's go back to Deji Adeyanju imagine comrade Deji Adeyanju sọ pé òun hail President Tinubu mo gbọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀rí ó dàbí àtẹ́ pé mo ń ka magic ni bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àwọn òyìnbó gangan ló ń lo drug jù ẹ farabalẹ̀ kẹ́ gbọ́ bíbá ẹ jẹ́ ń tẹ slow díẹ̀ mo fẹ́ kẹ́ farabalẹ̀ kẹ́ gbọ́ bíbá Deji Adeyanju ṣèrí ìwọ tó ní ẹlẹ́nu méje ni mí ẹlẹ́nu mẹ́ta ni mí problem ti ẹ nìyẹn aṣíwájú ló ń bọ̀ continuity ni ọmọ àlè Yorùbá pọ̀ láàrin wa ọmọ tòótọ́ Yorùbá náà tó ń bínú sí President Tinubu oní right but tó bá rò pé Atiku máa gbé subsidy wá padà àwa fi better life ẹ̀ ìyá jẹ́ pótò sí ẹ lára 4 + 4 ó pé kí ni 8 now before Deji Adeyanju a lawyer senior ṣé lawyer náà máa pè àbí senior advocate of Nigeria mo tẹ̀mọ̀ tó jẹ́ náà ẹ̀ ṣé senior advocate of Nigeria ni àbí lawyer baby lawyer before somebody like this can come out tó sọ pé òun hail President Tinubu á jẹ́ pé President Tinubu ti gbowó fún Deji Adeyanju lawyer ẹ ṣé gan ni just reason is a lawyer thank you so much mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́tí darapọ̀ mọ́ lórí TikTok kò ní bàjẹ́ fún gbogbo wa ẹ ṣé gan ni àwọn ọmọ Igbo ilé ní Tinubu must go tó bá máa go ìwọ ló máa lé Tinubu must go Tinubu must go Igbo people they àwọn ló bitter jù they are so bitter Tinubu must go look at Koiki you no do Oduduwa nation anymore you don dey support Tinubu àwọn wèrè What ti gbàgbé pa àwa la gbọ́n jù. We don't tell you now say now we smarter than Igbo people. Igbo people, you know, are not smart. Yoruba people are the smartest people, and we can tell you that any day, anytime. So if you like, cry from now to thy kingdom come. Tinubu no go anywhere. Tinubu is coming back. And those of you that lives in Southwest, Igbo people, you live in Southwest, and you are saying Tinubu must go, Abi, so that Peter Obi can come. It's a joke. It's a joke. You will live in Southwest, you will pay tax for our government. Because all governor of, apart from Adeleke, and Adeleke don't endorse Tinubu, all the Southwest state will be APC. From Oyo State to Lagos State to Ogun State. Ekiti State is already done, destroyed. Ondo not Abi, Ondo teach election. Aida Tiwa, Kwara, Kogi, every part of Yoruba land that you are trading is an APC state. Okay? Yes, I understand. Democracy is about who you want to vote for. But remember that you are staying in Southwest. So, while we are campaigning for Tinubu, we are also campaigning for our governors. So that they can become, checkmate some of you, especially those of you that are bringing fake product into our state. We will continue to expose you. Let's go back to the Jadeyoju. Was I shocked? Or do I think that the presidency paid the Jadeyoju? Please share, like, subscribe. Sorry, platform Ejukakiri. The Koikimedia is out again. Bola Tinubu again and again and again. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin wa, ẹ̀yin dada, ẹ̀yin alálùbáríkà, gbogbo bí tẹ́ tí ń ṣàdúrà, àdúrà yín á máa gbà lé wa lórí. Ọmọ Yorùbá tàtàlà wa. Àwa ti jókòó, àti ronú lọ síwájú, ronú lọ sẹ́yìn mọ́. Àti ṣe kíni, àti ronú lọ síwájú, a dẹ̀ ti ronú lọ sí iwájú náà ni, àwa ò ronú lọ sẹ́yìn. Ọlọ́run tó dẹ̀ ní wọ́n ní jẹ́ ká ronú lọ sẹ́yìn. We continue to move forward. Because only a great thinker will not stupidly not think for the future of the Southwest. Remove Tinubu and then what? Destabilize the little that we are still trying to put together. Òyìnbó mo tin fo òyìnbó ṣe àbí kò fẹ́ yín mọ́, ẹ má bínú. Àti pé òyìnbó ni. Ká yọ President Tinubu. Ẹ̀yin náà wò ẹ kò fi sára yín. So tá bá yọ President Tinubu. Ìwọ̀nba díẹ̀ tí a tẹ̀ ṣe ń ta fẹ́ extract. Àwọn mala jókòó. Tá bá dẹ̀ sọ pé mala àwọn Fúlàní, wọ́n jókòó sí north. Wọ́n wá kùsà wọn. Wọ́n náà làwọn ní. Wọ́n jẹ́ kó lọ sí federal tó máa fi pín gbogbo ẹ̀ mọ́ gbogbo wa lọ́wọ́. Wọ́n tún wá kó àwọn ọmọ wọn síta, àwọn jihadist, àwọn ọmọ 20 years old tó yẹ pé egungun wọn sì le. Ṣebí torí pé wọ́n ti bá yín pàdé ni Ọlọ́run ń jẹ́ kó bá wa pàdé. Tó bá bẹ́ẹ̀ pàdé, bá ṣe ń rí wọn tó bá mú wọn yẹn nígbà míì tá máa rí tó bá mú wọn yẹn. Tó bá bẹ́ẹ̀ pàdé one on one, in tó máa fojú ẹ̀ ṣe, ìwọ kọ́ ló máa sọ. In tó máa fojú ẹ̀ rí, ìwọ kọ́ ló máa sọ. Ṣé mọ̀ pé a ti gbàgbé ọmọ 14 years old tó gbé lọ ní Ìlọrin nífẹ̀ẹ́ lódùn local government ó sì wà lọ́wọ́ wọn báyìí. Mọ̀ pé gbogbo yẹn á pọ̀ náà. Táwọn tá à ń sọ yìí tó bá bá yín pàdé one on one, in tó máa fojú yàn rí, ìyàn kan ló máa sọ. Ẹ bá mi pín ètò yẹn. Jadeyoju, mò ń béèrè brother mi, ṣé wọ́n sanwó fún ẹni? Ṣó ti gbowó lọ́wọ́ President Tinubu nítorí eléyìí tó ń kí President Tinubu lọ́tún lósì. Kí ni Jadeyoju rí tó fi ń kí President Tinubu? Kí ni wọ́n jọ gbà lọ́wọ́ ara wọn? Ẹni tó bá jẹ́ intelligent man, you can tell. The Jadeyoju condemns Tinubu every now and then. But for the fact that tó bá rí nǹkan tó dáa, ó gbọ́dọ̀ jáde, kò gbọ́dọ̀ fi sára. Báwa náà ṣe rí future ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tí a dẹ̀ ti wo gbogbo ẹ̀ bọ̀ a rí pé Ọlọ́run tó fi bàbá yìí síbẹ̀ ó nídìí wọ́n dẹ̀ ní tí kò bá nídìí obìnrin ò kì í jẹ́ kúmọ́lú ṣẹ́rí gbogbo àwọn tó ń jáde yẹn àwọn ọmọ Ìgbò ni o wọ́n ti rí pé Yorùbá ni mò ń sọ kò yé wọn èyí tó bá gbọ́ Yorùbá díẹ̀ á jókòó ó fi gbọ́n tí mo fẹ́ sọ bọ̀ tó bá ṣàtúgbọ́ pé mo ní President Tinubu 4x4 asáré comment kékeré kan asálọ. Igbo people are pained that people like us have come out to support Tinubu. They are pained. Inú bí wọn. Because wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ́ ká lọ jà ká dàbí àwọn. Kò ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹni. Kò ń sọ̀rọ̀ àṣírí. In tí Simon Ekpa dálẹ̀ nígbà tó wà ní Finland tó ń ṣe sí Nàìjíríà wọ́n fẹ́ káwa ṣerú ẹ̀. Àbá ọ̀rẹ́ mi in tó fẹ́ káwa náà máa ṣe nìyẹn ká máa pa sójà ká pa ọlọ́pàá. Mo ní èmi àìtí kan ṣe mo kàn rọra fún yín ní of that máa dẹ̀ mẹ́nu kúrò ńbẹ̀. Ọlọ́gbọ́n ló máa yé òmùgọ̀ ló máa béèrè pé ó yá mú forward sí afẹ́ gbọ́ díẹ̀ sí in tó fẹ́ ká ṣe nìyẹn. Tó bá yẹ pa ti ṣerú ẹ̀ Ìgbòho nílé wà nù Nàìjíríà lálẹ́ wọ́n bí mi náà dá kí n lọ Nàìjíríà. Gbẹ̀jẹ̀ ń filẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ gbogbo wọn yẹn gbogbo wọn tó ń pariwo àwọn Ìgbò tó ń pariwo yẹn wọ́n ò bá Nnamdi Kanu ṣe mítìn rí. Nnamdi Kanu ló pe àwa ó ránṣẹ́ sí èmi through Simon Ekpa bóun fẹ́ bá Ìgbòho sọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo tó sọ ẹlẹ́nu mítìnì yẹn kò ń ṣọ̀rọ̀ àṣírí bọ̀ kò ń ṣe tá a máa sọ fún yín kò ń ṣe mítìnì mẹ́ta la ṣe pẹ̀lú Nnamdi Kanu. So gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Ìgbò tó ń sunkún sábọ̀ yẹn ẹni kọ́ lọ bẹ Tinubu kó lè bá wọn yọ Nnamdi Kanu kúrò torí British ò ní ṣe nǹkan kan sọ̀rọ̀ Nnamdi Kanu bó ṣe wà yẹn. Bọ̀ àwọn bàbá wọn ti ń bẹ President Tinubu pé kó bá wọn yọ Nnamdi Kanu ìdàkọ̀ extradite kúrò ní Nàìjíríà padà bọ̀kọ̀ bídà kó wà ní Nàìjíríà kó dárúkọ Biafra gbogbo ni mo fi sọ wọ́n bí Nnamdi Kanu dá kọ́ release ẹ̀ kó wá dárúkọ Biafra. Never will he do that. If he dares do that, he knows what will happen to him. Wọ́n bíbà bẹ́ẹ̀ dá. Nnamdi Kanu will not mention Biafra when Tinubu gives him a freedom. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ tó ń lọ ó ń bẹ̀bẹ̀ nísìnyí is asking for his freedom. Káwọn olùṣe àwọn ọmọ yín mìíràn àwọn ọmọ ọ̀fọ̀ àwọn ọmọ tó yẹ pé máa ń fìpá jí bàbá wọn lórí bẹ́ẹ̀dì ni kọ́ máa pariwo lórí social media. Mo tẹ̀ máa rí àwọn ìyá wa kan tó bá ní America is giving Biafra their country. Bẹ́ẹ̀ irọ́ ló wà bẹ́ẹ̀. Níbo la America ti fún wọn ní Biafra? Stop listening to all these lies. Ẹ jẹ́ àfi tiwọn sílẹ̀ ká padà sọ́dọ̀ tiwa. Deji Adeyanju hails President Tinubu over appointment of the new head of service. Ta ló ń pè ní head of service? And how important is it when we talk about head of service? Head of service checkmate every individual that works for the federal, not the state. When we say donate to good journalism, many independent media depend on you. If you enjoy what I'm doing right now, my account details will be posted. It is voluntary. It is on Facebook. It is on YouTube. Please, kò ní sọ mí mọ́ Ọláké gospel pastor ẹni tó ń sọ yẹn ó ti jáde àti gbọ́n jáde kò ní sọ mí mọ́. My account number is 30 96 80 88 48 First Bank Olayomi Koiki. Let me repeat that again. 30 96 80 88 48 30 96 80 88 48. Tó bá dẹ̀ yẹ pé ó pè ní ó dà ní pé ó pè yẹn máa ń move dáadáa fáwọn kan. 61 04 29 01 67. Same name, Olayomi Koiki. Or PayPal, musakalam1@yahoo.com. All these are voluntary donation. And it goes a long way supporting the media. Let's go back to at 11 o'clock precisely. I will then go into Atiku conversation. Atiku no matter subsidy pada. Is it possible? Or is it just looking for votes using the lies that he has used while he was in government under President Obasanjo as the vice president? Do you know that Atiku was so corrupt that even Baba Obiji was saying, Atiku. So Atiku tún fẹ́ lo subsidy, ó fẹ́ dá padà fáwọn ògbólógbòó lè tọ́jọ́ wà ní north kó máa fi jẹ mùlá. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, 4 + 4 is equals to 8. Dejade Yoju goes further and says, I commend. Let's look for the meaning of commend. We break it down to what we can understand. Tá bá sọ pé commend. The word
commend.
C-O-M-M-E-N-D.
Commend.
To commend means to officially or formally praise someone. Do you know what that means? That Dejade Yoju, one of the critics of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is now praising Tinubu. Tinubu must have given him money. Benny, no more Atiku, no more bandit. That means pé Dejade Yoju has been paid. You know, when I started talking about Tinubu, you know the first person that reached out to me? Tajuddin. Tajon ṣe Yorùbá Nation. Ó ní ṣebí tó ń sọ fún wa nìyẹn. Tèmi táwa sọ pé òun ti gbowó. As at the time that they endorsed Tinubu, we were focused mainly on the Yoruba Nation because as at that time, it was still very hot. Ojú táwọn kan fi rí nígbà yẹn, kọ́ làwa fi rí. So ojú táwa náà fi rí nísìn kọ́ lẹ́yìn máa fi rí, but it might be too late. Ẹ gbọ́ mi dáadáa ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá. Ojú tí àwa fi rí nísìn kọ́ la fi rí nígbà yẹn o. Because you might be asking, what has changed? Koiki, kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? All of a sudden, Tinubu, kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Kí lẹ jẹ yó? Ojú ta fi rí Tinubu fẹ́ di president ní the first time. Òun kọ́ la fi rí mọ́ nísìn yó. Ojú ta fi rí nísìn ni pé ṣe làwọn kàbá wọ́n fẹ́ destroy engine room Tinubu kí wọ́n lè wá padà wá jẹ gàba lórí gbogbo wa. Using the word Nigeria. Nigeria tí gbogbo wa mọ̀ pé ó ti fail. Nigeria tí gbogbo wa mọ̀ pé kò ṣiṣẹ́. Ìtorí ẹ̀ l'Atiku ṣe ń sọ nísìn pé òun máa dá subsidy padà fún yín o. So ìwọ tó ń sọ fún mi pé ebi ń pa ẹ́, má worry t'Atiku bá ti wọlé àbí. Torí pé nígbà tí subsidy wà níbẹ̀, ṣé ìwọ láǹfààní àti ọmọye táǹkì epo tó ń gbé jáde lójoojúmọ́. Brother wa tí ó pariwo síta, ó sì máa ń bá mi sọ̀rọ̀. Mo ní sọ state tó wà nísìn tó post wọn lọ. Ta ló rántí fídíò yẹn? I just want to know if people remember that video. Tó ní, lè má gbé epo kúrò ní Nigeria, lè má gbé epo kúrò ní Nigeria. It was a custom, I think immigration. I think it's immigration àbí custom. Tó ń bá wọn fà á. Táwọn kàbá ní, wèrè wo lélẹ̀ ìkan ọmọ Yorùbá wo lélẹ̀. Tó fẹ́ dènà àwọn táǹkì táwọn fi ń gbé epo láti inú Nigeria tó ń gbé lọ sí Cameroon. How many people remember that video? Just tell me yes. Only one person. That means àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ò kí ń wo video àti gbàgbé. So only one person remember that video. Out of thousands of people watching, only one person. Custom officer ni ẹ ṣé gan ni. Àwọn èèyàn tí ń bá mi sọ yes lórí TikTok, gbogbo àwọn tó wà lórí Facebook, àwọn tẹ́ ẹ rántí mọ́. Tẹ́ bá mọ tó fẹ́ fojú máa yẹn rí. Elédùmarè ló ní kí President Tinubu wà níbẹ̀ o. I am not joking and I'm not making this up. I am still in communication with this, my brother. Thanks, sorry. If not that President Tinubu was in office, or he has been the president, ní gbúrò bọ̀bọ́ yẹn mọ́ láíláí. Ní gbúrò wọn mọ́. Let's go back to the word commend. Commend. Dejade Yoju has now officially Maybe not for all Tinubu's policy, don't get me wrong, or don't get me right. No concerning, maybe the Adeyoju collected money, but somebody said the Adeyoju didn't collect money from Tinubu. The Adeyoju is not blind, like Igbo people that are blind to see. Igbo people will never love Yoruba people, not all of them. Please do not quote me and say all of them. But the majority of the Igbos are pained about Yoruba people. Is as simple as that. He's a custom officer. Koda, somebody is now telling me that the guy is from Igbo Koda. I want to mother than Eshegoni. Fun Inoti. Because the reason why I brought that video back out, these are part of the subsidy that me and you were enjoying until Tinubu stop it. And Atiku wants to bring it back. But we are going to come back to that. Let's finish this Dejadeyoju as quickly as I can. Dejadeyoju as commend, and the meaning of commend according to the English dictionary says to officially or formally praise someone or something, or to entrust a person or a thing into someone's safe care. The reason why that some of you entrusted and put your trust on us is because you say we don't want Nigeria. Okay. That is the reason why there's a like wa. But I keep continuing, but boy, man. Omo, Koiki. Sometimes when people see me that, Koiki noni. If you see me outside, you will not even know that it's me. Because I'm a different person on the social media and I'm a different person in the real life. I don't allow my social media to put on my head when I'm outside. You will never know I'm Koikimedia. With all my millions of followers. As much as people might say this and that, every day people are coming on our page. They want to pick something. Either to come and comment, either to do this, do that. And out of the WhatsApp group, we are almost close to 1,000. So if you're not on my WhatsApp group, you better come and join. Why are we praising President Tinubu? Why? Because we have seen that Nigeria tí ó wà destroy, Nigeria tí wọ́n ti fi jẹ olè, Nigeria tí wọ́n ti lò láti fi ṣe gàba lé wa lórí. President Tinubu ti ń dismantle gbogbo àwọn structures yẹn. Ẹ gbọ́ mi dáadáa. President Bola Tinubu by 1, 2, 3, 4 wọ́n ti ń destroy gbogbo àwọn structures yẹn. Maybe not all the structures yet, but majority of the structures are now being destroyed. And it will need more time to destroy all the structure that the British left. One of the most important structure I want him to deal with quickly when he returns back, by God's grace, let's share Dumari. Yeah, you might be saying, why are we calling God? Yeah, because God put him in power right now. And no human can remove him. Benny, there's a new sheriff in town. Not that we were closing our eyes then, during our campaign for self-determination. But we were also monitoring things underneath to make sure that yes, President Tinubu was checkmating them. And they don't like that. The North TNR have never been controlled like Tinubu is controlling them today. And if someone like Dejadeyoju can commend President Tinubu without being paid, he has seen something that you did not see. Do you know how many ghost workers have been in government for decades? I'm sure when you know among your meji meta, I have someone that told me that someone relocated to America. America and visa. And the government was still paying him, even though he's already working in America. ó dà pa àwọn èèyàn gbọ́n tí mò ń sọ iṣẹ́ tó yẹ kẹ́yìn gbà everybody wants to work with the government because government is a sweet place to work. It's the best place to work, especially when the system is corrupt like Nigeria. Ghost worker they're called. Ghost worker. Àwọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ tó wá kúrò lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ yẹn ó wá sáré lọ sí Amẹ́ríkà ó lọ faṣẹ́ ó tún sanwó fún ní Nàìjíríà tó bá wá sanwó yẹn fún àwọn kan máa wá gba percentage lórí ẹ̀. They are called ghost worker. This is where the Jadunyoju is hailing the president that thank you so much for bringing someone capable. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, Ẹ̀ṣẹ̀gan ni wọ́n ní the custom guy name is Ṣẹ́gun Owónbọ̀. Àwọn ilé ìmọ̀dá délé Ẹ̀ṣẹ̀gan ni brother mi Ṣẹ́gun ni bẹ́ẹ̀ni. I'm still in communication with him up to tonight. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ kẹ́ gbọ́ mi ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ń sọ pé ẹ níṣẹ́ ṣé mọ̀ pé nínú approximately I'm just giving I don't have the figure. Approximately, let's say, 7 million people are working with the federal government across the federation. I can bet my life 3 million of them are ghost worker. That means, báwo ni wọ́n ṣe fẹ́ wá wọnú bẹ̀ láti lọ ṣiṣẹ́ nígbà tó yẹ pé iṣẹ́ tó yẹ kí wọ́n lọ apply fún ghost worker tó wà labroad kí má sọ pé America nìkan kan má ní Koiki ṣe America ò ṣe dárúkọ UK tí wọ́n ń gbé yẹn. The ghost worker tó wà ní Nàìjíríà tó kúrò ní Nàìjíríà tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ míì tó lọ ń fa gbùrù tó lọ set up business míì. That is the job tó yẹ kí wọ́n máa ṣe. But ghost worker fẹ́ kúrò nínú government because ó ń dúró de pension. Ó dẹ̀ ti kúrò nínú government for the last 3 years. Ó ń ṣiṣẹ́ míì. That is what has happened before Tinubu came to power. It might not mean that everybody will work in the government, but ìwọ tó wù pé kó ṣiṣẹ́ nínú government, how do you get into that government when there is ghost worker that refuse to go, and you that are intelligent, ó ṣe tán ní 3 years ago, ó ní òrìṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́, báwo ló ṣe fẹ́ wọnú iṣẹ́ yẹn? Do you know that all the contract coming out of the federal government is now controlled by the people working in the civil service? Àwọn gangan ni contractor, àwọn gangan ni wọ́n produce pé iṣẹ́ contract wà. You know, you can apply for government contract. Even here in the UK, they do it. When you tender, what tender from, you know, I don't know how it is called in Nigeria, but you will tender. All these criminal civil service officials have now make sure that, well, okay, somebody said that not abroad alone, Mr. Koiki. I have a friend that said his father registered 5 of his children as ghost worker. Hey, this is what somebody is just telling me here. Koiki, I have a friend, Tiba Bez, who register one more man as ghost worker on the salary. It might mean nothing in terms of in the large scale. Now, do you know that this also happened in the state? I'm talking about federal now. On ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú state now. Gbogbo yín náà lè mọ̀ èèyàn kan méjì mẹ́ta o, ghost worker. That is the system that President Tinubu is trying to operate. Apart from all other pressure. You might say, but he has applied for the job, but he must dismantle every structure. Gbogbo structure, you want to dismantle it. This is the reason why Tabama fún President Tinubu ní go ahead. Ní gbé ìjọba lé Fúlàní kankan mọ́ lọ́wọ́ bí Atiku. Dẹ̀ ní gbé ìjọba lé Peter Obi, because Peter Obi can never be trusted. Because ó máa dá padà fáwọn North. Peter Obi ní tó bá ṣe 4 years tán, òun máa gbé government padà fún Kwankwaso, àwọn olè. Àwọn ọmọ North dẹ̀ ti ń jó gbogbo fìlà Kwankwaso, gbogbo red fìlà. Mo rí fídíò yẹn mo mọ̀ bí AI ni wọ́n ti finá sí gbogbo ẹ̀. Wọ́n ní fraud ní Peter Obi àti Kwankwaso, Tinubu làwọn máa tẹ̀lé. Mo kí bàbá mi Adeleke, má parẹ́ nítorí politics. Gbogbo yín rẹ̀ ti rí fídíò Davido. Ó lówó lọ́wọ́, ó ní orúkọ, ó wá gbé rẹ̀ jáde pé tẹ́ bá fẹ́ jùdọ̀tí sóhun lára kẹ́ jùdọ̀tí sí lára. Mélòó wá ní tèmi? Èmi náà ọmọ bàbá olówó, torí bàbá tèmi náà Alhaji Mojeed Ọmọ́táyọ̀ Koiki ti Jẹ̀bú Òde. olórúkọ lòun náà èmi dẹ̀ tí wá tó wá ṣe ju bàbá mi lọ so tẹ́ bá wá tutọ́ sí wa lára tẹ́ ń da gbogbo ẹ̀ sí wa lára pé torí a support Tinubu torí ọmọ Yorùbá làwa àwọ̀ kì í ṣọmọ àlè Yorùbá ẹ lè sọ pé Davido máa jẹ lára bàbá ẹ̀ àbọ̀nkọ́ ẹ̀ yes if you're in government he has the power to the corridor but Davido already has a name and a brand and he has never used that brand more than supporting his uncle a Yoruba man even though Davido said he's not going to support a presidential candidate but his family is supporting Tinubu so in one way Davido is supporting Tinubu and we can see it with Wike how Davido was dobale from Wike. That's why I said, tabanja kò ń ṣe pé bí ká para wa. Gbogbo àwọn tó ń bú olóyè Ìgbòho, tó ń bú Bàbá Kítóyè, kò ń ṣe bí pé ká para wa. The love I have for Saheed Ọmọbọ̀tà, nígbà tí mo sọ fún yàn kan ní airport, eléyìí tí mo dé, ẹni ẹ béèrè Saheed Ọmọbọ̀tà. At the Murtala Mohammed Airport, because if that shows that information does not go round. All those of you watching me right now, millions of people have not even heard about Koikimedia. The only way they can maybe see me is, okay, Bobo command tẹ̀lé Igboho lẹ́yìn, ó dẹ̀ lóyà gan, ó dẹ̀ dúró tì Igboho, wọ́n lè má mọ̀ pé mi náà ń pè ní Koikimedia. Somebody was asking me about Saheed Ọmọbọ̀tà at the Murtala Mohammed Airport on my way back to London. Mo ní bo lẹ́yìn wà. Ọmọbọ̀tà ti lọ. Let's come back. Because it's now 11 o'clock. Why would President Tinubu appoint Mr. Abel Oluwamuyiwa Enitan, a seasoned administrator, as the new head of civil service of the Federation so that he can checkmate not just ghost worker, manage the civil service, pay people on time, people that are due pension, let them pay their pension, people that have problems with their health, let the government help them. And many, many of whatever it needs to do. So just to close it, Dejade Yonju, you are a brother. Continue doing what you are doing. Whether you will support Tinubu for second term, you have already said it that we don't have opposition. Opposition is no longer in Nigeria. It's dead. Anybody talking about opposition, opposition is dead. Thank you so much, Mr. Wale. Mr. Wale also said that this guy, Mr. Olumuyiwa, is to manage the system. What system? The federation or the civil service system that has collapsed before President Tinubu came to power. That is on that. Now, let's come back to Jagaban. You know when this man is talking, somebody say, we love you, Koikimedia, our talented journalist. We are angry your journey. Thank you so much for the, Owonike Fumi. Taloma raise the wolf from Alale. How many people wants to support us tonight? Cash. 500 naira, 1,000 naira. Should we increase it? 5,000 naira. 50,000. Who's going to give us 500 naira? Kakokobe latibe. Kato soro Atiku. Kates kashi raise of fund there. Taloma fún 500 naira. 500 naira. Nobody? Okay, Ravi. Should we increase it? Who's going to give us 500 naira? Kato tesiwaju again. I want you 500 naira. Okay, 1,000 naira. And you must do it. If you can't do it, just say Koiki mi ò ní o mọ̀ pa wa Nigeria la wa wà. But mo mọ̀ pé ìwọ ni torí tó bá fẹ́ lọ ra ìgò bíà nísìn wá ná 1,000. Èló ló ń ta bíà nísìn Nigeria. Èmi ò mọ̀ tí ni mo bá tẹ̀ mọ́ èló ló ń ta. But on staff wọ́n mọ̀ tí sí mi lọ́rùn gan. Wọ́n mọ̀ tí sí mi lọ́rùn. All right. Somebody say, well done, sir. This is my first time watching you here. I really enjoy listening to your live. Life here, Kodadao, but we are not English people. Life is L-I-V-E, but you told me life, L-I-F-E. It doesn't matter. Now, let's come back to Atiku. And this is where we're going to ask question. Is it possible to return? Okay, ìyàn kan ti bínú, ẹ bá mi fún mi account number yẹn again. Ìyàn kan ní Koiki yá account number. 500 naira ló dẹ̀ ń pariwo bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, ká ti fún ẹni 10,000 gan. Admin, ẹ bá mi ju account number yẹn síta padà kí ká sí Okay, lọ bá mi fi sínú TikTok, but ẹ bá mi fi síta padà. Mo ń bọ̀. Account number yẹn sir. First Bank, Chetini Pen, Mr. Wale, 30 96 80 88 48. Màá tún pè lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí 30 96 80 88 48. First Bank, OLAYOMI KOIKI, ẹ ṣé gan ni, kò ní tán níbẹ̀. And when people are asking, why do you always call account number? Why do you need money for? Media needs funding. How many of you saw my picture at the BBC? That is not a new picture. Mo kàn lọ wú jáde láti send it sí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Ṣẹ́gun Ṣówùmí. I think that was about 5 or 6 years ago when he came to London and we went to see Bolawon, Mark Job. Bolawon works at BBC. So he gave us access to the BBC. And you know, gbogbo BBC studio yẹn bó ṣe rí is taxpayers' money called TV license. So ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń support Koikimedia. Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣe tẹ́ mi. Àdúrà ni kẹ́yin máa ṣe fún mi. Pé eléyìí tó tún gbé dání àṣeyọrí ló máa ṣe níbẹ̀ because a ti ṣàṣeyọrí nínú Yorùbá nation no. Mo ní sọ jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ti gba country o, èmi ò ń ṣàwọn dúpọ̀ ní tìrì o. Tọ́nà ti gba country tó ti ní president. Somebody said I will support with 5,000 naira. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. You don't really have to tell me what you want to support with, but every donation is very, very. Month is end, and when month is coming to an end, I'm always worried. How do I pay my staff? Because we don't have advert. We don't have. That's why I say people don't use my video so that we can take a bit of revenue from the YouTube and Facebook. Now, it's 5 minutes past 11, and I can tell you I won't take much of your time. I will wrap it up before 11:30. Okay? Now, one question I want to be asked, or I want us to answer is it possible that if Atiku returns the fuel subsidy, our life will be better? Let's be honest. Let's leave the sentiment about our love for Tinubu now, 4+4. Ṣé tí Atiku bá wá tó bá dá subsidy padà, would that make our life better? Would that make our life better? If Atiku comes now, becomes the president, and the first day he says, fuel subsidy that Tinubu remove, I bring it back. Bam! Would that make our life better? Okay, somebody say, I will support you by the end of the show when I get to Mola. And no different time zone. We're already 11 o'clock, same time with Nigeria. Somebody say, forget about subsidy. Subsidy call. Subsidy will not make my life better. Not that petrol was not okay. It was cheap right then. But how many people really made money out of it? The only time you enjoy was you buy generator. You afford it. Is your life better now that subsidy is neat there? You are not going to Nigeria market. I don't understand that. Atiku will bankrupt Nigeria and steal it. Obasanjo said so. Business support, give family support. Eshegoni. Return of subsidy is back to square one. Why is this subsidy very important at this particular time? Well, let's hear what Jagaban said when Adeleke, the governor, executive governor of Osun State, paid him a visit. This is what Tinubu has to say.
I saw one of my opponents now say he will go back to subsidy.
Oh, gift. Gift. Somebody was like, okay, I didn't get the message. If you want to support me, just say gift. You know, I think that will be okay. Yeah, Eshegoni. I didn't get the message earlier. Now, let's go back and listen to Jagaban, our current and incoming president, again and again. Let's listen. Let's play it. Yeah, play.
I saw one of my opponents now say he will go back to subsidy. I read it. That is demonstration of a serious ignorance on governance and economy.
Let me pause it there. Was Tinubu also ignorant of removing subsidy. Yes, Atiku is just desperate. I am asking a question. Ṣé President Bola Tinubu was also ignorant of removing the subsidy? Look, apart from the fact that we're going to defend him now, in any country around the world, like I'm living in the UK, we are paying for the Ukraine war. How many people agree with that statement? I'm all the time they come on your show. I'm asking again. We, the citizens of Britain, are funding the Ukraine war. Do you know that that war right now is a crime? I will tell you why. Because this is an international platform. Let me quickly go to Ukraine and see what is happening with the amount of money that has been stolen. This particular war that is playing out. Let me go to one day ago. This is a report from a Turkish website. Okay? I'm going to read it now. And the name of the website, in case you want to do a cross-check, is called aa.com.tr. TR is Turkish. Let me read this quickly. So that every country, including Nigeria one is just high in terms of corruption under President Tinubu that is trying to checkmate, and also under the previous administration. During Buhari, it was even more corrupt. Ukraine anti-corruption agencies uncover criminal network in presidential office and parliament. You know when the story of this guy that says he was you know the story tó jáde láìpẹ́ ní Nigeria, bọ̀bọ́ kan tó náà ní ọ́fíìsì, just like they've uncovered another one tonight. It is all over the world. It is all over the world. But because our focus is Nigeria, we're concerned with what is happening in Ukraine. But it concerns somebody like me because I live in the UK. My gas bill has gone up. My electricity bill has gone up. My all expenses have gone up because the UK government is backing Ukraine against Russia, and they cannot defeat Russia. We cannot defeat Russia. It will be difficult for Ukraine to defeat Russia. They will create damage. But that is not where I'm going. I'm going under where millions of dollars have been missing from this war. So even if, I use the word, even if we have started war with the government in Nigeria, some people will die and some people will make money. Because war is not moi moi. Group allegedly involved in takeover of high-value real estate and other corporate assets. 20th of August, 2026. Let's read a little bit. Ukraine National Anti-Corruption Bureau, just like the ICPC tonight, have now taken charge of 3 people found to be what? What is she, another agency? Láàrin ẹgbẹ́ Yàrá President Bola Tinubu. You see why I said it in my video recently? But I gbọ́dọ̀ protect President Bola Tinubu at all cost. At all cost. Because oríṣiríṣi ọ̀nà ló máa lò. Wọ́n fẹ́ lo coup, wọ́n fẹ́ lo food poison, wọ́n fẹ́ lo agency, corporate agency, kọ́ ní President Tinubu ni, àti Gbajabiamila ló mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀. And everything is now happening around an election. Terrorism is still going up. Banditry is still going up. Fulani killings is still going up. I'll go back to Atiku again. Ukraine National Anti-Corruption Bureau and a specialized anti-corruption prosecutor office said on Thursday week that They have now uncovered an alleged criminal organization involving current and former lawmaker, senior officials from President Volodymyr Zelensky's office and other individuals. Zelensky is the current president of Ukraine. Under his nose, millions of dollars that America has given them and UK and all the European countries. You might say, Koiki, kini eni se pelawa, Nigeria la wan sọ̀rọ̀ ebi power. I am just telling you that no country will be perfect. And remember that Ukraine, as it is, many Nigerians were schooling there, doing their medicine or medical student until the war started. Let's leave that. Let me give you figure so that we're talking about figure. In a statement on Telegram, the agency said the group was allegedly involved in a takeover of high-value real estate and other corporate assets through unauthorized interference with Justice Ministry information system, as well as the fabrication of the court rulings and property documents. Investigators said members of the network allegedly seized two companies in a fall of 2025 that their asset was about 248 million owo, which is about $6 million. One of the takeover was aimed at getting control of the property in central Kiev, worth more than 500 million owo, so which is about $12 million. Again, millions and millions of money have been missing. Let's go to BBC. Last year, major corruption scandal engulfed top Zelensky allies. This is the BBC. You can confirm that as well. I don't talk about Nigeria alone. I bring Nigeria. I bring all my analysis in the last many years of my presentation. I bring countries, and I tell you it is the same. Nigeria is corrupt doesn't mean that the Europeans are not corrupt. They are more corrupt than you and me. So we are funding a country that is fighting a war, just as Atiku is now saying to me, subsidy pada. If Atiku, Benny, this war is a business, real business. Let's read the BBC one quickly. BBC wrote this article on the 12th of November last year, just 10 days after was 2025, last year. Yeah. Alaja ma pe won yi ojo yan pe sha. The hell. Yeah, 10 days after Alaja died. Ukraine Energy and Justice Minister have resigned in the wake of a major investigation into corruption in the country energy sector. President Zelensky called for Energy Minister Zelana and Justice Minister Ama removal on Wednesday. On Monday, anti-corruption bodies accused several people of orchestrating just as many people. Ukraine Anti-Corruption Court ordered 3 suspects detained in Forest Gump case, set up bail up to Eshegoni. On Monday, the anti-corruption bodies, this was last year, accused several people of orchestrating, just as Tinubu government right now. Yes, we might ask Tinubu, corruption, why is he stealing money? It's not that Tinubu is the one stealing the money. It is the people around him. They are setting up offices. They are money that is meant for things that will make our life better. Some people will hit it and take the money. Just as you see KC Luxury, that criminal bastard Omoale Yoruba that was taking cocaine. Do you know that that cocaine was coming to London as well? And we tell Niaya, you see why people don't bring anything for anybody anymore? Because you bring something for somebody, you might end up bringing cocaine. You better be very careful. Even titi kombata, because people will attempt anything. Imagine you get to London and the immigration custom officer say, hello, did you pack this luggage? I did pack it myself. Okay, can you open it? We just detected some substance under the shoe. Now, these individuals embezzle a scheme in the energy sector worth $100 million. That's about 78 million euro. Wọ́n embezzle owó yẹn. Just as under if anybody can guess what I want to say now, that happened during a government, that they embezzle money and they told us under the same kind of energy. I want to know if anybody can understand it. Ètò bá ní làákàyè ní kíákíá, ẹni tó bá lè sáré ronú lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mi náà ṣe ronú pẹ̀lú President Tinubu nísìn lábẹ́ ìjọba kan rí nínú energy sector wọ́n gbé owó rìbìtìrìbìtì wọ́n náà máa ṣe ná fún wa ààrí omi ààrẹ anything. Ta ló rántí? Mo ń dúró de kọ́mẹ́ǹtì yẹn. Ààrẹ ni tó rántí? Irọ́ ni o. So kò sẹ́ni kankan tó rántí. Nínú Nàìjíríà yẹn náà ní lábẹ́ ìjọba kan èèyàn kan ti sọ mí báyìí wọ́n ní 16 billion. Kí ló ṣe 16 billion? Wọ́n dẹ̀ gbé 16 èèyàn kan tẹ̀ ti bá mi convert wọ́n ní 210 trillion naira ló jẹ́. Ẹwà ní lábẹ́ ìjọba Tinubu yìí kú ọ̀já lé o. Ṣeré mi, I am still a journalist that has common sense. Kò mí pé torí mò ń support Tinubu tí mo dẹ̀ máa support ẹ̀ délẹ̀ àní wá play devil advocate. Lábẹ́ ìjọba Tinubu yìí wọ́n ti jẹ ṣìnrìn. But lábẹ́ ìjọba President Ọbásanjọ́ wọ́n jẹ ṣìnrìn 60 billion. Má kọ́ ti bíbá kó gbé sórí page ẹ̀ kó wá máa flag ẹ̀ wálẹ̀ fílẹ̀ lórí page mi káwọn èèyàn gbọ́ lórí page mi. Tó bá gbé bíbá yìí nìkan máa flag ẹ̀ wálẹ̀. $16 billion àmọ́bi tó wà ó wọlé wọmi ní gbẹ́m. Ó wọlé sí ọ̀tà. Kò jẹ́jẹ́ pé owó yẹn wà ní Nàìjíríà. Ọbásanjọ́ sì wà láyé. Ó ṣe interview fún bàbá yẹn. Àwọn kan ọ̀pá MK Abiola ni wọ́n ṣe kíní. Bàbá níbo lẹ gbé 16 billion sí? Akọ̀ǹbí yín ni. Níbo lẹ gbé 16 billion yẹn sí? Ká lè lọ gbà jáde, ká lè gbé fún President Tinubu kó bá wa ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn nǹkan tá a ṣe nídìí nínú Nàìjíríà. You see what I'm talking about? Ọbásanjọ́ ti parí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì sí láti 2003. A ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ 16 billion. Atiku tí ó wà lábẹ́ Ọbásanjọ́ wá ń sọ nísìn fún ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá pé òun máa dá subsidy padà. Ta ló lè? Money for electricity. Owó just like this energy sector àwọn náà kówó jẹ 76 million euro. But titiwa was 16 billion, not $1 million. So, ele tan some is $100 million. $100 million in 16 billion is like boom. During a government told us that they will use money to put electricity across the whole country, and yet that money evaporated. Ṣé President Tinubu ni kò wá jẹ́ kẹ́ níná? Lọ́dọ̀ tàwa ládùúgbò wa o, lẹ́kọ̀ọ́, à ń sanwó ni o, pay as you go. Tó o bá ti sanwó, iná yẹn máa lọ. But tí mo fi padà dé yìí, after 10 days, wọ́n sọ fún mi pé iná yẹn ò ṣẹ́jú. And you know why? Because ìkọ̀kan tí mo mú lọ́lé, ọ́fíìsì sínú fridge, nígbà tó mú jáde, wọ́n ló ṣì crunchy. This is how we are talking about government. So if Tinubu has now come to office in 3 years and the government has stole or lost or whatever the 16, okay. I think monkey ate the 16 billion. Ó dà ń pé ológbò ló jẹ́, ológbò. Ṣé rántí pé nígbà tó wọlé Ìgbòho, ológbò yẹn ló ní kó target. Àwọn olórí burúkú wọ́n rò pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni agbára Ìgbòho wà, wọ́n ní kó lé ológbò yẹn mú. Ẹ pa! Wọ́n pa ológbò. Ológbò tẹ́ pé tí bá jáde lálẹ́ ní sẹ́ńkà ìpò wá ti sùn ní tí bá squeeze àwọn àpò ìrọ̀ má pè mí lálẹ́ yìí o tó fẹ́ fi mí ṣe nǹkan ni mo ti wọlé lọ sùn. Yes, kò ń ṣe gbogbo everywhere ló níná lẹ́kọ̀ọ́, and this is where we will expect the new governor because Babájídé Sanwó-Olú àwọn tí ń wind down díẹ̀díẹ̀. But tí Hamzat bá ti dé kó bá wa ṣe mọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ iná lẹ́kọ̀ọ́, Èkó gbọ́dọ̀ ní iná 24/7 tó dẹ̀ máa cheap díẹ̀ fáwọn èèyàn. Because Baba need iná, Alice Water need iná, hairdresser need iná, ẹni tó ń tán ìkànnà need iná, gbogbo èèyàn ló need iná. Ẹ̀yin náà need iná tẹ́ bá ti ṣe wàhálà lọ tẹ́ bá dé kẹtàn fan sórí. Now, ká padà sórí ọ̀rọ̀ Atiku. Ẹja tún gbọ́ nǹkan tí President Tinubu sọ pé Atiku ẹ̀mẹ́ ló mọ̀ pé èlò gan lórí nínú Port Authority báwo l'Àtíkù ṣe rówó ẹ̀ àmọ́ kí gbogbo olóṣèlú náà ló ní bákan ló ṣe máa ń rówó wọn bọ̀ báwo l'Àtíkù ṣe rí owó ẹ̀ tó fi dolówó lénìí akọ̀gbọ́n olówó ni just like KC Luxury ọmọ ní cocaine àṣẹ cocaine nìyẹn ń tà tó wá oppress gbogbo wa lórí èmi ò kúkú mọ̀ ẹ̀yin náà lè máa mọ̀ wọ́n Nàìjíríà everybody wá náà wọ̀n mọ́ nísìn Daddy Freeze náà wọ̀n mọ́ rí o gbogbo èèyàn sọ pé àwọn ọmọ KC Luxury but tí gbogbo wọn bá wà níbi tó ti ń ṣe fàájì tó ń mọtí gbogbo wọn ló máa jọ mọ́ra wọn ó wá ń ka cocaine ẹ̀bẹ́ ni tó ń ka textbook 32 cocaine ló fẹ́ gbé káàkiri wọ́n máa gbé lọ sí Europe wá gbé díẹ̀ wá sí UK bí adé náà máa dá Amẹ́ríkà tó bá yẹ pé owó yẹn jackpot ni ṣe mọ̀ pa tó lọ ra mọ́tò míì ìwọ náà máa pẹ́ ọmọ Nàìjíríà nínú Nàìjíríà yìí náà olówó wà ní UK olòṣì dẹ̀ wà ní UK tálákà dẹ̀ wà ní UK ẹni tó ń bẹ Ọlọ́run wà ní UK ẹni tí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì support jù ló pọ̀ jù nínú UK the government in the UK is paying nothing less than £3 billion a year tó bá yẹ pé rọ́ọ̀nì ẹni kọjáde kọ́ pé rọ́ọ̀nì mo pa lórí pé wọ́n fi ń ṣe welfare owó tó ń ná fún welfare nílùú yìí kò ṣe kékeré rárá it's close to £3 billion sterling ṣé Nàìjíríà lè ríro owó yẹn yes báwo la ṣe máa rí nígbà táwọn kan tí resources wọn tó dìímú fúnra wọn wọ́n wá mú resources Lagos State wọ́n mú ti Port Harcourt wọ́n mú ti àwọn ọmọ Ìgbò díẹ̀ àwa ń kó fáwọn north àwọn wá fi ń fẹ́ yàwó fún gbogbo àwọn èèyàn wọn wọn yá ẹ kó wọn jọ kó máa sùn kó máa jí ẹ ṣá máa bára yín sùn tẹ́ bá ti ń bára yín sùn kẹ́ bímọ rẹpẹtẹ tó bá ti dàgbà tó ti dògbò díẹ̀ ẹ jù wọn sọ́nà Èkó kó lọ máa gbé lÉkòó. Nigeria has run through problems and Tinubu cannot fix it in one tenure. But it needs to dismantle the structure so that we can decide our fate moving forward. Let's listen again.
I saw one of my opponents now say he will go back to subsidy. I read it.
Because of the background.
Of a serious ignorance on governance and economy.
Okay.
Before I came here, 27 states are unable to pay salaries.
Shall gbogbo point yìí fẹ́ gbọ́ as far as ebi ń pa wá àdẹ̀lówó lápò. I understand. Nínú 36 states 27 ò lè san salary. Nínú 36 states 27 kò lè san salary, full salary. Why? Ṣé wọ́n fún wọn lówó ni? Ṣé kò sí enough revenue ni? Tí bá máa padà wá later kò ń ṣe nísìnyí o, tí bá tún máa ní time. Àwa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa allocation tó tẹ̀ ń wo àwọn state yẹn. Báwo ló ṣe ń lò, kí ló ń lò fún gangan? Ẹ já padà.
Not to even talk of pensioners, salary of workers.
And tó ti ṣiṣẹ́ after 30 days.
In your state.
Okay.
I know a man that raised whose nickname half salary.
Governor kan wà tó ń pè ní half salary. Half salary ló máa ń sọ ní tiẹ̀.
Unable to do anything.
Okay.
Salary you pay feed families.
Okay.
They were the local government.
Local government. Okay.
They are in the states.
Okay.
Where are the concentration of population? They are in this.
Now, before we wrap up the program, because like I said, I promised you 11:30 and it's coming up to 11:30. It's just 3 minutes. Why would Atiku wants to bring subsidy back? Because subsidy has always been in our head. We believe that the subsidy was helping us one way or the other. Tabati gbọ́ subsidy, ó dà pé nǹkan tó fi ràn wá lọ́wọ́ ni gẹ́gẹ́ bí mẹ̀kúnnù. Yes, maybe at some areas in tó fi ràn wá lọ́wọ́ ni, but in the long run, the subsidy was not helping anybody apart from the criminal cabals. and we're going to subsidy help. But for people like us, yes, buying petrol was a bit cheaper and things like that. But when it comes to the bigger money, no be me and you the chopper. Now the criminal cabals. And the last video, I want us to just listen to some points, maybe not everything. I want us to just grab 1 or 2 points out of this, what this man is saying. Buhari was afraid he would be killed. Really? Who wants to kill Buhari? Because Buhari was almost as gone as forever. Let's listen to this.
When I got involved in the project is, and that happened throughout the book, not once did anybody in the Buhari family, including Aisha, tell me, hey, remove the sentence. Not one.
This is Dr. Charles Omole.
In fact, a lot of the revelations, especially by other people, she read it after the book came out.
So you had absolute editorial.
Exactly. So there's nothing like, I don't want this to be told.
So, Enton Soro, then go voice is called Dr. Charles Omole. Now, I'm just going to forward a little bit and let's pick at random.
People are now using today to pass files directly.
You mentioned forged signatures.
Under Buhari's government,
the issue of forced signature was raised by multiple people in interview, including the eldest daughter of Buhari. I've been waiting with the eldest of one or two, the second. Yes. Because she said, she's a forensic auditor. She said she actually took evidence to her father. She said, look, this is your signature. These are not your signature.
So under Buhari's government, everybody just sign anything. Just sign out. Now Buhari sign out. Under Tinubu, it has not been so. It is difficult for them. Because Tinubu is not as stupid as the Fulani man that left. It doesn't matter whatever name we call Tinubu, he's still smart and smarter than the former president Muhammadu Buhari. Buhari was just there, and the Kaaba, the Fantua, the Abba Kyari, they were the one controlling his government. Can we say that somebody is controlling Tinubu's government? No. But they want to. They are not happy. They will control President Tinubu's government, and that is giving them a lot of concern. I'm just going to forward a little bit. I'm just giving you bit by bit. Let's listen to this side again.
Whatever he was doing. And he's signing signature, signing papers, reading memos. And I saw several documents where he even was correcting spellings. You know, so this idea of a Buhari or somebody who doesn't read anything is a lie.
Okay.
And that's lovely handwriting. But my concern is this. When you as Buhari see that the outcome you see is not the same thing as your intention, why are you not doing anything about it? Now, one of the stories that I was told that I didn't put in the book again because I didn't get enough corroboration of it. Actually, it was after the book was published that I got the corroboration, but then it was too late. Was the fact that they actually one of the habits of Buhari right from the military days are two things: radio and newspapers. He loved listening to radios and he liked reading his newspapers. The Kaaba actually curated newspapers for him.
And he won't know?
How is he going to know?
You can look at the pages of newspapers.
You don't understand. The paper, the back of the paper will be the same as the paper of the day. They will just plan their own stories inside.
And he won't.
It's like they are Buhari, that man, destroyed the whole Nigeria economy. I'm still going to come back to the analysis of this video. My point will be Timothy look for Tamafi. But let's fast forward again and pick another angle.
To push. He knows if he pushes too hard, certain people, they might take him down.
There are people who can take down a president.
Of course.
A president, commander-in-chief of the armed.
You see why I say they must protect Tinubu? Dr. Charles Omole is saying that there are people that can take down the president. And it is important Tinubu is protected at all costs.
Forces. The president can be taken down. What are these people?
Does the president cook his own food?
You hear that?
Who cooks the president food?
Initially, when they got to the villa, it was Aisha. But like I told you, after that meeting, they had a meeting in which they told her to back off. So the villa machinery took over.
The villa machinery. This villa machinery are no longer there under President Tinubu. He has broken the structure. And when you break a structure will fight back. And they are now fighting back to kick him out as quickly as they can. So that come about the second time, we're going to come back to this video, but let's go again.
You're 1 sentence away from launching.
Before we finally close the broadcast, because I'm already 4 minutes behind schedule.
They're too refined, for our politics. So, but like every human being, he's also very adaptable. And I think he has adapted to the Nigerian system very well.
The Nigerian system is a good system?
Well, I think sometime, for you to be a speaker and for you to be able to get those kind of vast, different opinion together to sit on the same table, you need certain skill. And Bajabamela had and has the skill.
That is the current.
I'll give it to him. It's not
that is the current SGF working for Tinubu. Just the last bit. Let's listen again to this.
Police stations and posts in Nigeria, but those are largely in urban areas. There are about 35 to 40% of this country that have no police presence.
Did you hear that? Nigeria as of today, there are many places that could see police posts called Konibe. And if there's no police post, how do you sort out the insecurity? If there's insecurity, power. You see why Iru Ekun, kò ṣe fi lájà lọ́wọ́, Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn, OPC, New Era, Agbekoya, and the state police would deal with this post of police that is not there. Because if you think about, say, police post, all these other security agencies that I've mentioned, if Agbekoya is here, Iru Ekun can be maybe another 1 mile away, then another person, and they can walk around the clock to protect you and me, so that we can walk and move freely, goods and services, and we can return back to farm. And agriculture is still the bulk and the backbone of the Southwest, apart from the human talent that needs to be nurtured, not like KC luxury. Àwọn tẹ́ ń wò nìyẹn, àwọn olè, àwọn cocaine dealers. I'm talking about hard-working Yoruba man and women. We need to nurture them. We need to educate them. We need to equip them so that they can be proper businessman and businesswoman, not a GBT businessman, not a GBT businesswoman. Because the socialite woman as well has been sentenced. Woman cannot. Uno man courier. I drop with drug. Yeman káàkiri man ṣe party ni socialite ni gbogbo ilẹ̀ tí mo rẹ̀ ti rí video lórí social media. These are not Yoruba people. Okay? These are criminals. Criminals that needs to be wiped away from our society. Let's complete and then we go.
And that's part of the challenge that, usually when governments are going into election, they try to butter people up and, soften things. That's not happening. Politicians are complaining, contractors are complaining. I know people who are finished, as in delivered facility government contract. Government is using those facilities 2-3 years on. They've not been paid.
And these are something that President Tinubu, I heard him talking about it, that you cannot have projects that have stalled for 4 years, 3 years during past administration. Project Lomashe. Tababere project nisin. That project will not be completed. They will start another one. They will start another one. They were using that as part of the corruption that has now made life difficult for you. So it's a system that has failed. Nobody is in doubt about it. But who can dismantle that structure? Who is the man that is capable to dismantle the current structure that Nigeria has for many decades is President Bola Tinubu. Take it or leave it, is the only one capable to deal with this structure that has put us backwards for the last 60 years. I will continue to put my weight and my resources and my time. The same time that I've used for Yoruba land, I'm going to use that same time to make sure that President Bola Tinubu comes back and dismantle all the structure. Some of you might not know, the military structure has been destroyed. Now, military cannot tell us, oh, you can go and train in Zaria. No. Do you know that you can now train in Yoruba land? You can train in the southeast. That is part of the structure. Because the North has given us the feelings that Tabatilosi North, Alilosi Police Academy, that structure has been destroyed. Oh, hey, Timo. Okay, I'm just telling you. Many of this structure like that must be destroyed. How can you have Navy? Shiba Navy Lomawa Loriomi, and they put their training in the north where there's no water. The training for the Navy should be in the southwest where there's water, in Ondo State, in Lagos State. But rather, for many decades, they put the Navy in the north. So if you want to do training for Navy, you have to travel to the north. These are structures. Because in structure. All this structure is what has held Nigerian from being able to speak out, because the North has the power. When we talk about the power, these are the structures. When you have all the... And Tebaranti, even before we started endorsing President Tinubu, I said it. I've said it in many of my broadcasts, that I want President Tinubu to bring all the military aircraft, the fighter jet, back to the southwest and keep it there. They can keep it in Oyo State. Oyo has a very big space, the military barracks. They can put them in Osun State. We don't need to have them in the north alone. All the engineers can also be brought back to the southwest. And that way, Tabate na won ya were. Oye we have our no were lọ́wọ́ ngba yẹn. Because whoever owns the air in any war has the superiority and the power. That's why America was far away from Iran, but they were hitting them very hard. Pa, 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 pa. You know why? Because nobody has the capability of the America airspace. I mean, when it comes to the air, they have the stealth fighter jet, they have every goddamn thing, and they have the B-2, the B-2 bomber. The one that moves quietly, that you will not hear a sound. But Iran was able to tell them that you have all that, but we will deal with you with drones. And Iran was producing $5,000 drone. And those drones were put out to Kuwait, to the Middle East, and destabilize the whole Middle East. Nobody was able to stop all the drones. They were able to stop some, and lives have already been lost just on this small war. So as much as America has the superiority of the air, Iran was still able to kick their ass. What am I trying to say? What Nigeria have gone through is because the North that the British told to hold on to the power using the military architect, President Bola Tinubu has now destroyed all that. And we want him to continue to be the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Atiku, it is too late. You will not be the president because we don't trust you. Peter Obi can never be trusted because he is also going to give the power back to the North. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI. Thank you so much for everyone that have joined us this morning or tonight. And like I always say, it is Koikimedia bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Ajuasho, Ile Yoruba, gbogbo ẹni tó bá ń gbé àníyàn pé ilẹ̀ yẹn máa dàrú látara pé tóun máa jẹ ilẹ̀ yẹn máa mú wọ. Bó tó bá yẹ pé látara pé kílẹ̀ yẹn kó develop kí gbogbo wa lè rí tiwa ṣe ń bẹ̀ làwa kan ṣe ń jà, kò sí nǹkan tẹ́ bá ṣe tó máa kàn wá lára nítorí pé kí ni àníyàn kan làwa fi gbé dání. Èmi náà fẹ́ ṣoríire nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ìlú òyìnbó ti sú èmi. I am tired. Tó bá sú ẹ̀yin ẹ jókòó kẹ́ máa condemn Tinubu nínú yàrá yín. Àwa táwa wà ìwò Alhaji Atiku oyè nísìn àwọn ọmọ Oòduà àlàáfíà làwọn wà, ọmọ olóyìnbó ni wọ́n. Bó ṣoré mi ìlú òyìnbó ti sú mi. Èmi fẹ́ padà lọlé. a dẹ̀ fẹ́ padà nígbà tí Tinubu wà ń bẹ̀ because ṣe rántí pé bí Buhari ṣe ní ká padà wá níyẹn tá a lè padà lọ bọ̀ pẹ̀lú àṣẹ àwọn bàbá wa pẹ̀lú àṣẹ ilẹ̀ Oòduà tí wọ́n ní wọ́n ń ṣàdúrà fún ẹ gbọ́ tí olóyè béèrè lọ́wọ́ kábíyèsí Ọọ̀ni òrìṣà ẹ rántí pé olóyè béèrè lọ́wọ́ kábíyèsí pé ṣé lóòótọ́ ni pé wọ́n máa ń ṣètùtù nílẹ̀ Yorùbá lójoojúmọ́ ni kábíyèsí Ọọ̀ni òrìṣà máa ń ṣe kábíyèsí confirm ẹ̀ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kí ló ń ṣètùtù yẹn fún kílẹ̀ Oòduà kílẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjíire kó má bọ́ sọ́wọ́ àwọn agbésùmọ̀mí kó má bọ́ sọ́wọ́ àwọn wèrè wọn ní ọjọ́ kan péré Ọọ̀ni òrìṣà nìkan dẹ̀ ló mọ ọjọ́ náà bàbá mo kí yín o torí pé àwa máa wálé o bẹ́yìn bá wá fi jókòó sí abroad ó dàbẹ́ o gbogbo àwọn olóṣèlú náà ló wá ń gba ìtọ́jú labroad táwa náà bá lọ́ọ́lẹ̀ àlè wá gbà ìtọ́jú ní bíbáyìí bọ̀ kò mí pé kò sí ìtọ́jú ní Nàìjíríà owó ni kò sí ni mo gbọ́ bọ̀bọ̀ kan bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn ní kódà tó bá fẹ́ clean eyín ẹ̀ gan wọ́n bẹ clean ẹ̀ Nàìjíríà èyí tó fi ń lọ tọ́kì yẹn ajú wa ṣe lágbára Ọlọ́run so one thing is we will continue to checkmate the government there's no doubt about it but àwa níbi ojú ọlọ́mọ ọ̀tọ́mọ o má torí táwọn ọmọ Ìgbò ń sọ kò náà fẹ́ràn Tinubu o ṣorí táwọn fẹ́ irọ́ ló ń pa o ìntọ́ fẹ́ gangan wọ́n kàn fẹ́ kí Peter Obi ráyè wọlé kó rápálá wọlé ni gbogbo àwọn gómìnà wọn ló endorse Tinubu o máyẹ̀ kẹ́ni kankan tàn lórí social media o orí Davido àti Wike ṣe fàájì lọ ni o kékeré fídíò kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ra jù síta yẹn ariwo pọ̀ lọ gbírígbírígbírí bọ́ ṣe ń jayé lójoojúmọ́ nìyẹn bọ́ ṣe ń jayé lójoojúmọ́ nìyẹn má parẹ́ nítorí ẹ̀sìn fẹ̀sẹ̀ lẹ́sìn sílẹ̀ ẹni bá fẹ́ ṣe mùsùlùmí fi sílẹ̀ ẹni fẹ́ ṣe kìrìsìtẹ́nì fi sílẹ̀ àwa ta fẹ́ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ṣe mo kí yín gọ́vnà wa méjèèjì ẹ ti fún wa ní ìdùnnú pé ìṣẹ̀ṣe làgbà ìṣẹ̀ṣe dé bó ṣe máa lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ nìyẹn orúkọ tèmi ni Koikimedia àjùwà ṣe o thank you so much and God bless you ìbá wọn ò ọmọ Ìgbò kò sunkún sábọ́ ìbí báyìí ò kì í ṣe péjì Máyégún general okay Máyégún lọmọ Ìgbò èmi ò ṣe ọmọ Ìgbò ọmọ Yorùbá ni mí if you like cry but for my Igbo people wey you know say I dey behind na no be na that they talk to but all this way they attacking we no get respect they abuse but they do business for Lagos gbogbo ni mo rí lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó ń tajà níkẹjà tó ń ṣe lálàúsá gbogbo ẹ̀ tó ń alábà tó ń ṣe yányányányányá àwa sórí social media àwọn wèrè àwọn asínwín àwọn ọmọ tó gbádùn nu wọn máa sọ kábàkàbà àwọn business type nu wọn ń ta business lọ tó ń ṣe business lọ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá báyìí tọ́dẹ̀ ń jèrè nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ìwọ wá jókòó sórí social media òun bú president Tinubu nílẹ̀ Yorùbá orí ẹ̀ ò pé ọmọ àlè pump bastard mo kí gbogbo àwọn ìyàwó mi mo kí àwọn ọmọ Oòduà mo kí gbogbo ìyá alálùbáríkà yàwá comfort ológunjà mo kí yín gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ní oríṣiríṣi pain olúkálukú ló ń go through kankan Ọlọ́run á bá wa yanjú ẹ̀ lágbára Elédùmarè ẹ fi fídíò mi sílẹ̀ ẹ má download ẹ má gbé sórí page yín tabari a máa flag ẹ o kó má bàdìjà o Ìgbòho ṣá irúmọlẹ̀ tó ń jẹ tọ́yìntọ́yìn respect bàbá Akíntóyè mo kí gbogbo àwa ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ Yorùbá nation ẹ jẹ́ ká fọgbọ́n ṣe ó dàrọ.